have a, a lot of ideas for her from a role play perspective, I guess. And I've had other characters that I've been the same way with, where I just like never quite got into them from the role play side or the character development side, and others I get more excited about. So I don't know.
Well, hopefully we can figure something out. Alright, so we said Glenn, you were on Scribe today. It looks like Uslog, you are the previous Scribe. Could you give us a recap of the happenings of last game?
Yes. So it's the 55th of spring, 8 a.m. The Shadow Market was closing down, and though most of us left empty-handed, except for Glenn, who proudly added a shiny new instrument to his arsenal, we had at least gained a lead as to where to root out these cultists. I felt like that was a decent outcome to the day. On the way back to the island of the Zalora, we discussed how to deal with the information we had gained about cultist activity there. In this case, an aggressive approach is not an option, or at least not the smart one, so we'll play spies. Pretend we are none the wiser, continue to stay on the island as guests, and get cozy with the neighbors to hopefully pinpoint the cultist activity there. Malin suggested making me invisible again and having me sneak around the island. I pointed out that didn't go well last time. Not at my best in cities. Gods, I miss the sunlit plains and the forests of home. I remember when Char was the biggest settlement I had ever set foot in. I thought that was overwhelming. We ended up deciding it was best if Luro did some sneaking around in the more secure areas of the island. Before she left, Eli cast telepathic bond, including all of us in it as well. Being able to communicate with my companions no matter the distance is comforting. Glenn offered to cast a useful spell on Luro as well, but she was skeptical. He assured her no funny business, but I was pretty sure that what he did was not part of any spell I'd ever seen him cast, and the twinkle in his eye as she left confirmed this. It's made me smile, which is something I have found myself doing more of lately than I have since all this started. Malin, Eli, Estrella, and I went on a late evening walk to go knock on some doors, while Glenn did some invisible sneaking around the neighborhood. Our first stop was the walled-off mansion across the courtyard from our own guest house. The guards at the door were difficult to get anything out of. Malin introduced our group politely and tried his best to get the name of the residents, at the very least. In the end, however, we decided it was best not to press them, as they began to get suspicious. We decided via the bond that this house might be a good one to check out in secret later, and went on our way. Glenn, having gone off on his own, must have seen us fail, and decided to approach the guards at the mansion in his own fashion, though he didn't tell us till later. Meanwhile, we knocked on the door of one of the only houses with light still on, and we were greeted by a young, noble-looking Shadowkai woman. She introduced herself as Estrali Zalora. The others in the house were servants of her family, apparently. Estrali was interested in our group, and especially intrigued by Malin, if kind of rude with how she spoke of him. After she invited us in, why is that word so hard? We learned that her brother was a biomancer and would be very interested in studying Malin, seeing as he is both organic and warforged. Her brother resided in the very mansion whose door we had just been turned from. She said she could talk to him for us. Malin told them about our goal to find cultists, and we gauged their reaction. Estrali seemed concerned mainly and said she had known some of the residents here all her life, but she didn't give us any reason to think she was with the cult. She and the servants expressed their dislike for the Children of Shadow, and told us about a settlement to the south that had been overtaken by ghouls because of them. While that sounded to me a little like what happened in Issyk, I haven't seen that here. Back at the guarded mansion, Glenn had convinced the guards to allow him to regale them with an epic song. They relented, and he used the performance to mask the casting of a suggestion spell, convincing them they had earned the night off and to go get a drink. With that, he slipped into the courtyard invisibly and found a side door on one of the buildings to unlock, easily deceiving his way out of a situation with a guard on the wall that must have hurt him. With no interference from me at all. Nope, none at all. It was about that time I grew bored and decided to check in with him via the mental link. He let us know he snuck into our neighbor's mansion. We told him we learned a biomancer lived there, and Eli informed us and Glenn what he knew of biomancers. Malin suggested we join Glenn, but in the end, we decided we would probably just mess things up. And Glenn assured us if anything went south, he would teleport himself out. LaRoe chimed in and let us know she had made it to the secondary gates to investigate the inner island, and the rest of us decided to head back to our guest house. First, we took a walk by the mansion to make sure there were no guards returning. Eli also warned Glenn that the time on the link was running out. I was a little nervous waiting for Glenn to get back. I know he can teleport, but that had failed before, so I was glad to see him appear, a little behind schedule and looking a bit flustered, but unharmed. He told us he had met our neighbor, Orin Zolora, meaning he had managed to get caught by him. Had it been anyone else, we would have been breaking them out of prison, or they would have been Orin's next test subject, from what Glenn told us of their interaction. But he managed to sort of befriend the guy, and with a promise to share with him some of the essences we collected, including blood essence, which is illegal if we acquire any, he was free to go. Glenn told us before he left he spoke to Orin about our suspicions about his family. Orin appeared genuinely surprised and asked where we got that information. Since Orin gave away that he is okay dealing with criminals, Glenn told him we paid for the info in the shadow market. Orin agreed to let us know if he noticed anything suspicious, but seemed confident that no one in his family would support the cult. With everyone back safely in the house, we rested the night, keeping watches as usual. On the 8 a.m. on the 56th, a servant came by this morning with cakes. Eli asked them more about the Zalora family, as we had been talking about how little we knew about this family. We learned that aside from Aemon, Orin, and Ustrali, there are a few others of the immediate family we have yet to meet. Garrick Zalora, the head of the house, Gortrell Zalora, an aspiring cleric of the Raven Queen looking to become a member of the church, and Venessus, a scholar and wizard that spends most of her time in the library. They are all siblings, though Venessus is a half-sister from a different mother than the rest. Both of Garrick's wives have met unfortunate ends. The first died of a common Shadowfell disease known as the Withering. The second, he said, was poisoned. The culprit never caught. Nobles tend to have many enemies, sure, but there could be something there worth looking into. Once the servant left, Estrella pointed out that Cortrell could be a good contact if we wanted to look into things about the church. She pointed out that my own connection with the Raven Queen, though very different from that of a cleric's, could be of use here, as well as her own training in the field. I know that at some point it might be necessary to make myself known to the church as chosen of the Raven Queen, but I've been reluctant. I've been thinking a lot about this chosen thing a lot lately, though. Anyway, we were having our meeting with Aemon later today to discuss checking out some of the places where he suspected cultist activity. Orin had seemed sure that Aemon was not on the side of the cultists, so we decided to test that. When we do meet up, we plan to mention that we learned in the shadow market, what we learned in the shadow market, and see how he reacts. So much for subtlety. While we waited for that, we decided to go to the library. This was mostly boring, as libraries tend to be, but I know useful things can be hidden in books if one has the necessary focus and patience. I do not, which is one of the reasons I am lucky to be friends with these nerds. Estrella noted a scholarly man lecturing in the library, who may be a good source of information about the library if we need it. Malin and Eli hunted for a restricted section, and eventually managed to find a few locked doors marked as private. Malin still thinks we should should search for fake books and rotating bookcases to find the secret stash of cultist books. But for now, this will have to do. However, it was about time to meet with Aemon. On the way back to our guest house, Malin ran into an old acquaintance of his from Gaian, from his previous group. This was a bit suspicious, and not a happy reunion. He was a human by the name of Earthane. His weapon was interesting, kind of reminded me of something Xeris would have wielded, but he was otherwise unremarkable. He didn't make a great first impression, referring to us as suckers for a start, and bringing up some stuff from Malin's past that I'm sure he didn't need reminding of. In short, I don't like him. That's it. The end.
All right. Thank you for that recap.
Yeah.
So it is the 56th of spring at 9:30 a.m. as you are heading back to your temporary house, I think to meet with Aemon, right?
Yep.
Yeah. believe you wanted to question him about something. I don't remember the details, but you guys had talked about it a bunch.
We were going to tell him what we knew from the Shadow Market.
Oh, you're going to tell him about the rumor. Okay.
And what's in the box?
What's in the box? So, just as an FYI, I kind of redid some of the camp rules a little. You can give your camp weekly tasks to accomplish, depending on who your NPCs are. I kind of wrote up some of the abilities your NPCs have.
Too bad our camp's on a different plane.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Although we have a few NPCs with us.
Did you...
Just have
didn't
Raldo
bring
and
your-
Gideon thing.
In a row.
Is there a reason you got separated from your camp?
I think we just didn't want. Like, it was hard for us to take them with us.
Okay.
Plane
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah.
That's right, because you can't bring as many people that way. So, from your camp, I guess you only have Raldo here with you right now. Right. I guess you have Laro too.
And Diddy, if she's...
Oh,
I don't know if she's
Yeah.
part of the camp technically, but...
yeah, she would be. I think she is the only person in the camp. Your actual combat NPCs are Laro and Raldo. Okay, but anyway, you are heading back to the house. When you get back there, you would find Amon waiting patiently. He says, good morning, everyone. I hope you rested well.
Yes,
Yes.
quite restful.
Says, are we ready to go investigate some more of the cultist claims?
Just had a couple questions.
Oh. And perhaps I have a couple of answers.
What business does the Zalora family have with Earthane? I thought you said there were no other travelers from Gaian here.
He says, Earthane is from Gaian? Oh, do you know each other? I was not aware he was from Gaian. When I spoke with him, it sounded as if he'd been in the Shadowfell for quite some time.
Well, he's human. He's not like from this, like, originally from the Shadowfell. And yes, we are old acquaintances.
He says, believe it or not, there are some humans and dwarves and other folk who are born on the Shadowfell. Sometimes people come over here and end up staying. It's not common, but we do see it.
I was
It's
gonna say, this
usually-
place doesn't seem a very romantic place to bang.
Perhaps. But yes, I
I mean,
thought...
and that's coming from a bard, so you really should take that with the utmost seriousness.
He says, well, unfortunately, there's not much I could do about the gloominess of my world, but...
I mean, you
The,
really can. There's definitely some things you could do if you'd like to talk about it later in private.
I will say the population of our empire is quite high, so obviously we managed to do as we must. But in any case, that's that's interesting that Earthane is from Gaian. From what I gleaned from talking to him, I thought he was from this world.
Well, I
What
suppose
business do you
rabbits
have?
can pretty much do it anywhere.
Oh. What business do you have with him?
Well, he's one of the mercenaries that's been working for us. We've had him under our employ for a bit. I don't know much about what he's doing now, as my father is more in charge of his duties. He says, I don't believe you've met Father yet. He doesn't come out much.
I see.
But was that all of your questions?
Glenn.
What's
Where
your favorite position?
questions of Earthane's origins and how we bang, as you put it.
Yeah, like I said, what's your favorite position?
Give me a persuasion.
I think this is perhaps the best use of Silver Tongue I've ever used in this campaign.
Why are we on this? We said you had blue balls. I didn't take it
Oh.
literally.
This is while I know that there's kinship between us, I'm not sure we are to that level yet. Did you
Alright.
have any questions on the matters at hand?
Do we have a telepathic bond up?
Probably not right now.
Damn it. So we heard an interesting rumor. This guy is part of the family, right?
Yeah.
He is,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I say that and I look at the rest of the party to see if anyone has like a "don't fucking do it" look on their face.
No, we definitely go for it. I mean, we discussed, that we're very motivated for this.
And I'm actively looking at his face, trying to find tells. We heard an interesting rumor that someone in your family actually had some connections to the cultists.
Zalora? Ridiculous. Says we are no friends to the cultists. We're good, upstanding citizens like anyone else living here.
And I immediately thought the same thing. Does he, can I insight that?
Yeah. You can do an insight check.
Okay, I'm actively looking for tells. As soon as I said that, I'm trying to catch any just knee-jerk facial reactions that maybe he's trying to hide. Let's see.
Doesn't seem like he's lying. He does seem a bit maybe preoccupied or nervous. You're not sure if it has to do with that question or something else. But you don't think he is lying.
Okay. And then I immediately thought the same thing. But when I thought about it, your family seems very large. And it could be, just a stupid rumor. But, I don't know. I'm just curious if, from your point of view, there might be a outlier in the family, so to speak.
He says, well, I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I've seen no evidence that anyone in the family is a cultist. I mean, it would be against our interests to keep the Empire strong. We do much for the city and for our family's reputation. There's not much to gain by helping those who would bring about our downfall.
It's true. I mean, when I heard the rumor, I thought the same thing. It didn't really make much sense from a preservation standpoint. Do you have and I'm sorry. You seem to be in a bit of a rush. Do you have another engagement we're keeping you from?
As well, just the task of looking into these possible underground places. But other than that, I don't really have any engagements today.
I'm sorry, you seemed preoccupied.
Just then, footsteps would approach from behind.
Behind him or behind us?
Behind him.
Okay.
And another elf walks up and would say, There you are, Glenn. I'm here to talk to you. Oh, hello, brother. Amon says, brother. He says, in any case, I'm here to speak with you of those essences that you said we would trade.
Yes, Oren, my good friend. It's lovely to see you. These are my traveling companions.
He says,
I do a wave.
Well met. Now, do you have those essences that you said that I could look at?
Yes. Shall we go somewhere so that you can better see them, or do you want to just look at them right here out in the open?
Amon would say, brother, we are in the middle of something a bit important. Perhaps your magic experiments could wait. He says, we had made a time to do this, brother, and my magical experiments are extremely important to our family. He says, yes, but the cultists and the threat they might pose is more important. And they seem to be getting a little agitated at one another. Surely, Glenn, you could put your trade of essences on hold. We have matters to look into, yes?
Well, I tell you what. Since Oren and I already know each other and are such good friends, how about he looks back to the party? How about you guys trust me with the trade on the essences, and the rest of you can go with Amon here and discuss the cult.
Give me a persuasion check.
That way, everyone wins. Everyone gets what they want.
I suppose, though, if we go into danger, it would be best if we had all of you.
Oh,
Says these places we're looking into could have cultists.
ooh, Oren. Why don't you come along with us, and we could do our deal afterwards? This would be perhaps a chance, and I'm sure the cultists might have some essences on them that you could take.
This is blood essence. It's quite taboo. I would never do such a thing. And you could tell. You can easily tell he's lying. And he says, humanoid essence is forbidden. I don't know what they do
And
in Gaian, but
they're gonna have monsters with them though. So
yeah, and did Amon say that it's forbidden?
Oren said that. The way he said that, you don't think he actually cares, and he has probably taken blood essence before.
And he kind of like puts his hand up to his sideways, kind of like, I won't tell if you don't.
I have no interest in getting into dangerous battles underneath the city. He says, I have work to do. I just wanted to look at these essences and see if I could get any off you. We shall talk later. This.
Well, actually, Eamon, it shouldn't take too long. Eamon, could you spare just 5 minutes? I apologize. It's my fault. I forgot the times and kind of, booked a double date, 2 dates at the same time, so to speak. He kind of just like knocks his head with his fist. Silly me.
So at this point, since you've been observing them for a while, I'll say Glenn and Estrella, with your passive perceptions, you would notice that both brothers have a very distinct looking ring that looks... they're both wearing one, and they both look exactly the same, with very distinct markings on them. You hadn't really noticed these rings before. Or at least not put together that maybe both brothers have this ring.
Are the markings something that we've seen anywhere else on this estate? Like maybe like a family crest or something?
I'll say Arcana might tell you something about them. Arcana or religion.
Okay. Oh shoot, In the wrong window. Do that again.
I need to look something up.
Well, I guess.
14. Glenn, do you want to make a roll? You have Jack of all trades.
Sure. What role?
Arcana
Religion
or
or-
religion?
Well, I have the same, but I figure he'd be more interested in a magical aspect, so let's see.
So, you both would know that the symbols you believe have something to do with abjuration magics. And Amon, even though he seems a little bit annoyed by his brother's presence, will say, of course, Glenn, whatever you think is best. If it will only take a short time, I suppose we can wait. And his brother gives him a bit of a cheeky smile.
And when I, on our way, I'll have to ask you about those beautiful rings you're wearing. I'm very jealous.
Who did you say this to?
To both the brothers.
Amon would look at one of several rings on his finger and say, oh, which one?
He points at the one with the abjuration magic.
Ah, yes. It is my ring of shielding. It helps protect me from dangerous things that might be hurled my way. Everything from knives to arrows, even to magic missiles.
Oh, damn! All right.
Orin says, a
Very
gift
handy.
from father. But yes, basically a small protection ability.
Yeah, I do hope one of these days we'll get a chance to meet your father.
Well, perhaps if you impress him. Orin says, though we as well don't get to see him that often these days. He's very preoccupied. Eamon says, well, the man has a lot going on.
Seems he knows Earthane quite well, though.
All right. Who has the? I assume is the party okay? Just kind of like temporarily handing the essences over to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I will take them and I'll put my arm around Orin. Come, let us look at sweet, sweet essences and talk about trade.
Orin looks very uncomfortable as you put your arm around him.
And then maybe afterwards we can go for a drink.
Are these essences in inventory?
I think they're mostly in the bag of holding that Uslog carries, but they're in the party inventory, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they're in the same document.
Yeah.
But labeled as Uslog's bag folding. A lot of them are, at least, in her bag.
Alright, I'll look at Uslog's
Not sure if all of them are.
bag.
Here, if we sort it by refined component, or no, raw components, that should do it. Clear.
So, I didn't even know blood essence was a thing. Could we have been harvesting humans this whole time?
That's
You
crazy.
can, but like I said, it's considered extremely taboo, and good characters definitely don't like it. Because the only thing you really use blood essence for is like evil rituals and undead summoning and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily something you would know how to do as a bard.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So he's
That
looking.
definitely makes sense.
He's looking through. He says, "Oh, you have quite a few interesting ones."
Yeah, we've
Probably-
gone through some definitely interesting places.
I think Froggy's is our strongest.
Yes.
Some of them we don't have the CR on.
He says, "Well, I would definitely be interested in this fire giant essence. It's teeming with energy."
Well, all right. Okay.
Is it just the
Is that-
normal fire giant essence, or the dreadnought, or are we talking about Froggy?
He points at the Farrago essence and says, "This
Well, okay,
one."
that's like great.
Is that Is that the one that would allow us to permanently change a spell?
Yes.
Oh, no, that was the. I thought that was the plesiosaur.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think that was the plesiosaur. The which
So
is
I'm
even
assuming
here.
probably
It
just,
it
like,
was a
showing
unique
that.
one. Although Farago's essence is unique as well, I don't think you did much research into what you could do with it.
Okay,
I'm
so
not sure.
so we have two unique essences: the plesiosaurs and Faragos.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. And Farago, for the quantity, you could just put unique. The actual amount doesn't matter. The 200 Maho. Because a lot of these essences are from my old system, which gives you a much larger amount of Maho than you should have in some instances. But yeah, you can say Farago and the Plesiosaur. What name did I give it?
Nessie?
Nessie. Essence of whatever I said it was. Those are unique essences. Which he would also be interested in. The Plesiosaur essence, Nessie. Which I don't see on your list here.
Well, I sorted it by raw components. If we have it,
Oh, if it's under a different thing. Okay.
yeah, if we have it under a different category, like unknown or.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a component, but it would be like a unique component.
No, it's not under unknown. Did it go in someone's inventory? If it went in someone's personal inventory, then that might be why it's not on here.
I don't think anyone. Maybe Glenn actually took it because he might have been.
He was studying it, I thought.
Oh, that's true. Did you take it, Glenn?
Let me check my
There was
inventory.
some downtime stuff. I think he did.
He dropped
Yeah,
it by
studying.
accident. It's gone.
Oh no!
God damn it.
Loading. Okay, hold on. Inventory.
It's like car keys. You're like, where did I leave my car keys?
Wow, we have a lot of magic
Um,
ink. Where did we get all that ink?
I think we bought it.
We need to
I
have
just
Eli
have,
start scribing.
I'm holding on to 400 arcane components, but other than that, I don't see anything. Oh, and I'm holding on to some wisdom, some +1 wisdom save weed, but yeah, nothing. No unique essence.
Then it'd probably be in.
I guess I
Islam's
better check
bag.
my inventory. See if somehow I was carrying
I
it.
mean, if it's in no one's inventory, we can just put it in as an essence in the bag of holding. That's fine. But yeah, so he would want to buy those two and ask, what would you want for these unique essences?
A legendary item. Like that's like
Or-
almost.
I feel like we wouldn't. Okay, yeah.
No, like
Yeah,
no, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. That's like I don't want to sell it, but you know.
A magic item of some power and rarity.
That is, those two are a hard sell. These particular monsters were very special and hard fought.
One of a kind.
Yeah, these are extremely unique. I mean, it would have to be. I mean, I don't think honestly, money would be really worth much for them. I mean, it realistically have to be a magic item of considerable power to consider trading one of those.
Give me a moment.
As Glenn admires his ring.
He says, well, let's see. Kind of looks over the group, is kind of scratching his chin. He says, old woman, I don't believe I got your name. Are you a magic user, an arcanist?
Indeed. I dabble in a number of forms of magic. I do have some experience in arcane, but also in divine and primal.
He says,
A bit of a jack of all trades.
What power sources do you employ for your spells?
Yes.
This is you use all of them?
I do, but primal and divine more than any. Primal the most, yes.
He says, do you need a magical implement?
Well, I guess it depends on what you have in mind.
He
I do
says,
okay
well,
with...
what sort of implement would you prefer to employ? I have several in my vaults.
Are we talking about, sorry, out of character, like, when he says implement, would I think he's talking about, like, focuses or something?
Yeah, you would assume he means like a wand or a staff or a... Yeah, like a... Yeah.
Well, I'm rather fond of this. She taps her moonsicle. And have kind of been relying on it for some time now.
He says, may I see it?
Yeah, she would hand it over. It's only a +1. It's not like crazy rare. It's her starting item. So yeah, she would let him examine it.
Says, I am indeed familiar with the druid moon sickles. So he kind of looks it over. Very powerful. He says, though this one seems to be less so. Would you like a more powerful version of this?
I mean, I can't say no. Of course I would like that, but I think the group would be interested in having some options, not just one specific possibility that we could consider together.
He says, well, the items I possess are not infinite, but if you have ideas of what sort of magical artifacts you seek, I could possibly help you procure them. He says, I do have some powerful things within my vaults. Amon says, this seems like it might take a while, Orin. Perhaps you should trade for some of their more common essences first. Orin seems kind of annoyed and says, perhaps you're right.
That may be a good idea.
He says, well, I'm always happy to buy essence from Gaian. Looks like that's where much of this comes from, so I'd be willing to buy most of what you have here. If you're looking for gold, I can get you quite a bit for it.
Do you have any, he kind of coughs, other currency?
Says I have gold and, well, have to be
Don't we
kept.
want gold?
Kept between
Do
us.
you have any kind of like coins that might be a little wider?
Why do we need the pale coin? We're loaded.
We have so
Yeah, we
much
are.
coin. We do not want coin first.
Yeah, but don't we? Yeah,
Kind of
we
poor on Gaian.
because we want to go back to the black market though, right?
Yeah, but our problem was not that we didn't have enough pale coin. It was just like, days.
We didn't have the connections or the
You're just the only one who can
yeah.
roll good to get
Oh, well
that.
then let's just keep going back.
Go tell it to Amon right now.
Let's spend all week there. Fuck.
Go talk to Amon.
We got important things to do.
But yes, I'm down to do that.
Yeah, I still want to get a flame tongue, and there's still like stuff that people want. So
Well,
We'll have a shopping
time,
spree
babe.
after this.
if you seek currency, and of course I don't necessarily admit to trading in such things, but pale coin could be arranged. Amon would
Well,
say.
it seems my companions would rather have gold.
Says I do have some gold as well, and Amon looks like he looks a little distressed. He says, "Brother, such trades," and he says, "It's fine, Amon. We're helping them in their quest against the cultists." He says, "Who cares how we get them their things?" I also have
Being heroes is
potions,
expensive.
scrolls, and all sorts of other magical things I could barter with for your essence.
Would you be willing to trade minor to mid-level magic items for enough essences?
He says, well, potions and scrolls I could trade, but there are a lot of, I don't have any magical item you'd be seeking. I have a couple of things that might be of interest to you, but if you have suggestions of what you're looking for, I might be able to tell you.
How about
Yuri-
anti-magic armor?
Miri, do you mind me asking what attunement items you have?
Who?
You.
Oh, right now I have
Then you said you had the sickle.
the moonsicle and an amulet of the devout.
Okay.
I mean, considering I'm only a level 2 cleric, it's not a big deal to have.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well, our druid friend here, well, she has a moonsicle, which is great. I mean, and don't consider this a town kindness because I still dislike druid. But you know, I feel like you're not a real druid unless you have a staff of the woodlands. And I was wondering if you had such an item.
He says, I would have to take a look at my stores, but
And
maybe.
it is a little more than just a common run-of-the-mill everyday magic item, but it's also not quite powerful enough to trade for one of the unique essences. So I was hoping maybe something like that we could trade in bulk, maybe a bulk amount of essences for something minor like that.
He says, well, according to my brother, you all have someplace to be, so don't want to keep you too long. But I think for a magical item that's more powerful, I'd probably require a good deal of your higher CR essences. He says, essence is one use after all. It's not like an item which has been enchanted and can last for quite a long time. I'd be much more willing to trade you for things like potions and scrolls for these essences. He says actual magical items like a staff of the woodland are much more valuable and harder to make.
He nods. You know what? That's true. I can always see if maybe I could try and find one in the black market.
He says, do you have need of healing potions, perhaps?
Oh,
As
yeah.
as a biomancer, I be good at creating healing items. As well as
high-level healing potions are definitely always in demand for those who risk their lives.
Says, well, if you wish normal healing potions, we could always trade the lower CR essences, and as we go up, I could offer some higher level ones. He says, I actually have a decent amount of healing items, so any spells that you need, I could probably get a hold of as well. I don't know if any of you scribe, but
you have any Aura of Vitality scrolls?
Yes, I believe I do.
That would be something I think we would definitely be willing to.
That's something that we can make relatively easily on our own, is it not?
Who are you asking?
Estrella is saying this to Glenn. Like, compared to the other items you've discussed, we can make scrolls of Aura of Vitality. Or I can, in a week.
He says, well, if that is what you want to do, then I can trade for something else.
Yeah, I mean, but it does take you quite a while, Straya, and
no one in our party can make other magic items and other items of power in a week or in a month. It would take much, much longer to craft items of rarity.
It just depends, because it sounds like he would want a great amount of essences or something like that. I don't know how much we're quite willing to trade.
He nods. He says, while these essences do intrigue me, I am not an endless store of magical items. I only have a couple, and I know people who can get me some as well. But it would have to be for something pretty special, because they are
Perhaps we
quite
could-
expensive.
Perhaps we could provide you with a short list after we consult with each other, and then you can let us know if any of the items on that list, are within your power to find or that you may already have.
Perhaps. For something more permanent, I would probably require one of your unique essences, or a trade for another magical item. Your normal essences, I would probably only trade for potions and scrolls. He says, I was more expecting the ask of pale coin for what you had. But yes, actual magical items for something like this, it's like trading a potion for a magical sword. Unless the potion is extremely rare, it's not usually done.
We had some rare level magic items, magic weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
+2.
They're all highlighted. They're in column I.
He says, well, how about this? Because I can see my brother giving me the eye. Why don't you come up with a list of some items, possibly permanent as well as maybe temporary, like scrolls and potions, and once I have that, we can discuss trading. If you don't want to just trade for pale coin. Which again, I am not saying I trade in, but perhaps I can find some.
Perhaps I could find some, in the couch cushions. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
He says, excellent, brother. I says, yes, brother. Good day to you. And Orin walks off. All right. I apologize. My brother is, well, he's a bit antisocial at times. I'm actually surprised to see him out of his lab area. How did you meet him?
Funny story. I'll have to tell you about it sometime.
Well, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
He says, by the way, how are you enjoying the city? I haven't spoken to you much about your travels. I've been told that you spent a good amount of the day outside of the island yesterday. He says, what have you been seeing?
A little different. With the whole no currency thing. But it's pretty. For me personally, it's pretty awesome because I can pretty much just sing and perform my way pretty much for anything.
Yes, you definitely have a coveted skill. With some work, you could become very much in demand for, well, even some of the higher ups within the city, my family included. We do have skilled musicians perform, but I don't know if I've heard any on your level. Which, of course, Glenn immediately his head explodes.
I'd tell you to stop, but I don't want you to.
Fair enough. So he is going to head out to explore some of the places where he thinks the cultists might be. Did you all want to do anything before going with him?
So I think we just wanted to get some cultists.
All right. So I guess give me either perception or investigation. I'll take up to 2 from the group as you're exploring some of these places, looking for clues.
People already roll.
20 and a 24. Alright, so you're going through some of these underground areas. Most of them are just kind of old abandoned areas that are not currently in use. Estrella, while you are kind of looking around, investigating some of the caves where you're passing through, you would notice something. It looks like evidence of some kind of gathering that may have taken place here recently. Survival might tell you more.
I say, Uslog, come take a look at this.
Oh,
And I would
interesting.
point out kind of what caught my eye.
Some people were having a reading book reading party.
So you definitely can see signs of a gathering, though it's hard to make out details, but there were, you think, more than 10 people who came through this area recently.
A lot of them.
Yeah. The weird thing is that you don't see the footprints leave.
Oh. Well, that's strange.
How fresh are the
Any
tracks?
signs of like? Oh yeah.
Well, with the 12, it's hard to get too many details. Like I said, you just
Oh, let
kind
me
of...
do a survival also.
Alright, so Malin takes a look. It looks like they went to an area of the cave and then it just kind of goes away. A perception check might reveal something here.
Can we all just do
Everyone
perceptions?
has-
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not. that good
Yeah,
at it.
anyone can roll a perception check. You don't have to...
Yeah, I have no clue. I was like, oh, I lost them, guys.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do the survival.
Alright, so Estrella, you kind of look at this area, and one of the sections of the wall looks a little bit different to you. Tapping on it reveals it to be hollow. There might be a secret door here.
Well, I would say there's a secret door here.
Amon says so. He walks over, kind of taking a look. Any idea how we'd get through?
I start fiddling with like little craggy knot holes or knots or whatever on the it's stone.
So this would be investigation again.
Oh, okay. Is Eli with us? Who's got good investigation?
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh, I do not.
Yeah.
I am not trained.
Eli says, sure, I'll take a look at it.
I'm a wisdom and charisma caster. Well, actually, my charisma is pretty low, honestly, but
Well, he's not trained, but he isn't terrible at it. Did that work?
yeah, that was a good roll. It doesn't have like his
That's
nameplate.
weird. It
It's just
didn't come up on my other screen. So he's taking a look at it. He doesn't find a way to open it, but he is able to find what looks like some wires that are hidden by some of the rocks in the cave wall. And he says there's some sort of mechanism here. I don't see a way to open it from this side, though. There might be something on the other side that is used to lock and unlock it. These wires could be the key of opening it, though. Do I know how to have? Do I have thieves' tools? I don't think I have thieves' tools. He's not a thief. He says,
Well, that's
though.
Steve's tool.
Though, yeah, I don't really know what to do. There's some sort of mechanism. Does anyone know anything about this? He shows you the wires hidden by the wall. The rock.
I mean, Glenn has thieves' tools, and I'm a bit of a. I'm an artificer, so I can try to tinker with this.
He says, well, this might be the way we get in. Though if we mess up, we might lose any hope of opening it.
Glenn, can you shit talk me real quick, and then I'll try to open it. If you know what I'm saying.
What?
Give me your bardic inspiration.
Oh,
Malin, you ain't shit.
Bet. Let's do it. I'll prove it wrong. Let's do this.
I inspire Malin by telling him he can't do shit to make him like,
Yes.
be like,
Yeah.
fuck you, I can do it if I want.
All right. What do I have to roll?
So it would be. Do you have? Do you have? I think it's sleight of hand. Is the skill that you generally use now at Thieves' Tools. If you don't have sleight of hand, it would just be a dex check with what's it called? With proficiency.
Wow.
No, I have
You should have done that then.
you know, I am a high dex character with Thieves' Tool.
Oh, yeah, in that case, because I thought I was going to use, like, Smith's tools or, like, tool, whatever that tool is.
Yeah, for this it would require dexterity more because you have to work behind the wall a little.
I'm gonna take back that bardic inspiration.
Yeah, you got this, Glenn.
Alright, let's see.
You can't take back harsh words once you say them.
Yes.
Uslug will play a little tune on her pan flute to try to inspire Glenn.
Well, you have so you have sleight of hand trained.
No, that's just my regular sleight of hand.
Oh, well, you would roll Thieves' Tools, but if you have training in Sleight of Hand via the new rules, you'd have advantage on Thieves' Tools.
Oh, no.
So it would just be a dex check with, basically with proficiency. And I guess I could use this roll.
So that would end up being, so that's a +5, and then my dex is, let me see, I think it's a +3. Yeah, and then +5 for proficiency. So basically, it's it'd be what, 21, 22.
Okay.
Weird, because that one you rolled has proficiency in it if you mouse over, but it's only 2.
That's my jack of all trades.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, which you wouldn't get your jack of all trades, right?
No, I should because it's a skill check.
Yeah, but that's jack of all trades is to things you aren't trained in. Is half of your proficiency. At least from what I remember.
Everything.
I mean, you can link it. Means I've been playing jack of all trades wrong.
Do any ability check you make. Oh, that doesn't already include your bonus.
Yeah. So it's only the things that you aren't trained in.
Okay, so I am skilled in Thieves' Tools, so it'd be that roll +5, +3. So yeah, it would be basically 22 then, or no, it'd be 20 because I'd get +3 and then -2 from the jack of all trades.
Your proficiency bonus is +5 at this level.
Yeah.
And then you
Why
have
would you -2?
so +5.
I have a +3.
And then +3 for dex. Okay, so 8. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so yeah, you are able to get this working, cutting the wires in a way that disables it, but also unlocks the door as the cave section where the secret door is kind of clicks a little and swings open. And it looks like it leads into a hallway with a set of stairs going down.
He whispers to Malin, Malin, tell Diddy next time you see her that's how you open a fucking door.
Her old laugh, alright.
Slurp and I are gonna go invisible.
Amon says, well done. But, I mean, at this point, should we just let the city know? Or do you think we should investigate further?
I look at him and say, we slaughtered them all.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't come here just to be a looky.
He says, well, if
That's
you
not really how we operate.
if you think you can handle them, just a little nervous. Well, I'm not as skilled at fighting, most likely, as you all are.
I pick my teeth. Don't worry, that's why we're here.
Aye, don't worry, friend. We'll keep you safe, Boulderbottom says.
When in doubt, just throw Malin at the enemy.
I give him a big smile at those words.
Throw the enemy at Malin.
Alright, so you are heading down the stairs. Who's in front?
Me.
Okay. So, Malin, the bottom of the stairs comes to looks like an old wooden door, which is currently closed. You don't see anything else down here. This might be the entrance into some kind of, hideout or something.
I would love to throw the door open, but anyone want to check for traps first? Or is that my
I'll have a
job?
look.
Pushes Malin forward.
It would be a perception to look for traps. I guess you could use investigation too.
I'll have a look as well. I mean, if I'm up at the front, which I probably would be.
Uslog, it's not worth you getting hurt. Have
Oh, it
Malin
looks
check.
clear. The door looks clear, guys. So what's the problem?
I guess there's a couple ways to find traps.
Can I try to listen? I'd like to listen if I hear anything from the other side of the door.
Yeah, sure. Give me another perception check.
And that I have advantage because I'm listening. Do I? I think I do. Yes. For listening, I can. That's where I come in. Okay. Do I hear anything on the other side of the door?
You think you might hear some footsteps, but they're very quiet.
I hear some people on the other side.
Are there any cracks or anything like under the door or on one of the edges now that we've kind of identified,
There's the space between the floor and the door. You wouldn't see any light or anything coming from in there.
Oh, okay. Let me just check. I could send Slurp in his centipede form. I forget if it's millipede or centipede.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. While we, I guess, no one else wants to check the door,
Okay.
do you want me just to transform and bust it down after we check with the millipede, or?
Well, yeah, let's just take a look and I'll tell you what he sees. He does have dark vision to 120 feet. So Slurp would take his centipede form and he had already gone invisible, so and then he'll wiggle under the door and see what he can see.
All right.
He's not going to go more than just under the door, just to look kind of on what's right on the other side. He doesn't want to get far from the group.
So he turns into a millipede, you said?
I guess it's centipede, yeah.
Centipede.
Yeah.
Could you link that ability? I just want to check
just did.
something.
Oh shoot, I'm talking to myself. I will link it again. Okay, so I linked that first and then that.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not it. Not that one. This one. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that speed is really weird. I wonder if it means like a big centipede.
The speed is because the shape changer does not change my familiar's speed, and his normal speed is 40. Do you see how all the forms are the same speed? It's because his shape changer doesn't change my speed. Its statistics are the same in each form except it says speed changes noted. Climbing and swimming and flying, I guess, would be the speed changes noted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right. Never mind, because the bat only has 10 foot if it's not flying.
Yeah, it's weird that the centipede is
never mind.
40, unless it's a large centipede. But
I think when I played with a Quasit in the past, we played the centipede as pretty small, as familiar sized creatures, all tiny,
Yeah, and this is the Quasit, you said?
Yeah, this is straight from the closet. Yeah. He's reskinned, but no changes to their stats otherwise.
Alright, yeah, I guess I could just...
Pretty much exactly what Rompty could do.
Okay. So he is going to slip under the door. On the other side, you would see several figures kind of looking at the door with weapons drawn.
Okay.
And they see your centipede. And I guess give me an initiative roll for your
Yeah.
centipede.
Okay. And Estrella, as he was crawling under, she would be using his senses. So see whatever he sees. Ooh. Except, yeah, I didn't have a token selected though.
Oh, that's fine. I just need to roll for the people. So, one of the elves there looks like he is kind of armored up. He's going to rush over, take a slash at the centipede. Just need to get his sheet out. He rushes up, swinging once as the centipede dodges to the side. What's his AC?
13.
13. Second attack will hit, though.
Mm-hmm.
Flashing him with a longsword. And for 12 points of damage.
He goes poof. And I would whisper.
So you kind of step back as your centipede is killed.
And I would whisper to the
Big
group.
roar time.
I would whisper to the group the number of figures I saw, what kind of weapons I saw them carrying, and I would say they can see invisibility.
You saw 5 of them, and at this point you hear footsteps, as if possibly retreating behind the door.
Okay.
Can I transform and bust down the door, please?
They were really scared of that bug, huh?
Anyone?
And the guy that ran up, you said he was armored and martial-like?
Yeah. He says,
and yet he could see invisibility, so interesting. Did they look human? Or elf?
You think they were elven, probably shadow elves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, if it's up to you, Malin. I'm
nervous. Amon says they know we're here now. All right.
That usually doesn't help them. And I
transform. Okay. So you turn into your other form, and you're just trying to break the door down?
Yes.
Give me a strength check.
I thought we'd already unlocked it. Do you have to break it down?
Now you unlock the cave secret entrance. I don't think you've even tried this door. You just kind of assumed it was locked.
We were in the middle of checking for traps, and we were like, just look through.
But you're welcome to try to break it open anyway.
A strength check, right?
Yeah. Alright, so you slam your shoulder into the door, but it does not budge.
God damn it! Wait, I still have the Bardic. No, I'm not using the Bardic on this.
Rattles a bunch.
Oh no, I took that back.
Can I open the door and just, like normal person, and whistle?
Sure. So you open the door. As you do so, you see a rune suddenly flash, and I would need a wisdom save.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, did you actually take the Bardic, Glenn?
Yeah, I only gave it to you because I thought you were gonna do the lockpick. Then I was like,
Wait,
wait
are
a
you
minute,
actually
I do
allowed to just
lockpick.
say like pull it back? I didn't know that.
I didn't see
Well,
you
'cause
protesting before.
I guess so. Yeah, that's fair.
Technically,
I
I don't
I
know
gave
if
it
you're
to you for
allowed to
that.
pull it back, but I'll say, like, since you didn't know how the rules were working, I assumed he just would have said he didn't give it to you if you weren't going to
Okay.
make the check.
Yeah,
That's what I had
that's what I thought
assumed.
That's fair
Oh,
because I'd make this anyway.
you would make it as you feel strange for a second, and after that spell hits, there is another sound as it looks like a crossbow just starts firing a bunch of crossbow bolts into the doorway. So I need a dex save. Alright, so you jump back, dodging some of them. You don't have evasion, right?
No.
So you are struck by some of them.
Vision would be sick, but no, that would be too busted.
24 piercing.
Is it magical?
Yeah. I'll say yes. These are high level guys.
14. Ugh, ouch.
So you get a couple of, I don't know, bolts stuck in your armor. Some of them poke you a little. The repeating crossbow goes off for a bit and then it stops.
Well, I think we've lost the element of surprise.
That wasn't going to happen. Can I go try to whistle and enter again?
Well, the door is open now.
Yeah, I'm going to just whistle and just walk forward very leisurely and put up my defensive field again.
Alright, so you step into the room.
Whistling.
Whistling and, like, calling for someone, or?
No, like, like, la la la, like, having a great time.
Like,
Infernal. Yeah, just like,
Making it
anyone
clear that
know?
I'm concerned.
So you enter into the room, but there's no one there, at least not anymore. Seems whoever was here may have fallen back a bit.
Okay, can I try to use a survival check to look for tracks?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there is a hallway that leads deeper into the complex. If you just want to enter. But yeah, give me a survival if you're tracking. Right.
Guys, they disappeared. I have no clue where they went.
It seems like there's a
Assuming
lot
they
of
just
traffic through
ran
this
off.
area. You're not sure where. Well, I mean, you have an idea of where they went because there's only one way out of this room. But beyond that,
Guys,
you're not
Doesn't
sure.
that way.
They could have teleported for all we know. I mean, we never know about these type of things.
Yeah, mages,
Anyways, there's only one way to proceed, so let's go.
All right, so you are heading.
Just know they've
deeper
probably, if
in.
they are a group of mages, charging in is maybe not the best.
Yeah, and
Just-
I was just thinking also, now that they're very much alerted to us,
We should expect,
and we know that they are, I mean, if they're able to, do these magical rune traps and see invisibility and and stuff, then we don't know. I don't know. We might
have
have
Counter spells
lost the
behind me, right?
advantage here. What's that?
Okay, but we have 2 counter spells behind me, right?
That makes sense. I'm a caster.
Let's just check for traps as we go and be prepared for.
Okay, I will
Big
check for
things.
traps as we're going through.
I will help with that.
All right, you trying to chase them quickly, or are you taking it cautiously?
Just a very leisurely stroll. Not like we're not
yeah, we were
running.
advising caution.
Just
Alright.
whistling and
So you're going slowly and cautiously.
Yeah,
I'm keeping a
perceiving.
bit back from the group, maybe 20 feet. I'm gonna regret that. There's gonna be an explosion that's 30 feet, but I don't want anyone to take me from behind and me not be close to you guys. So
We probably have
Give me one moment
Rado in the
to
back
look
too.
for something. I don't think I have the map I needed in this game. I need like 2 minutes, assuming I could find this thing.
We could, I guess, take a break while you do that or something. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll take that long. I keep forgetting this is an older version of the game, so it doesn't have any of my new maps. So I have to drag them out of a different game. Where is it?
Oh, and you said this room is dark, so I would put light on my moonsicle.
All right. So you are doing a light spell,
Wait,
giving your group some
no,
light.
I'm gonna put light on Uslug's sword. Are you okay with that, Uslug?
Sure.
Okay, because I'm invisible, so.
Yeah, I don't think they are going to be.
Although I guess the
they
invisibility
could
may
see.
not.
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
I guess the the invisibility I guess doesn't even matter now that we know they can see invisible things.
All right.
Also, if anybody's playing Marvel Rivals, I'm currently looking for people to carry. I'm awful. But you know what? No, I told Lou, I'll have you guys know, I am routinely not the worst person on my team.
Nah.
Yeah, I remember when I played like I mean I haven't played the game that you just mentioned, but when I have played with groups like in WoW and stuff, I'd always be like, "Never fear, your mediocre hunter is here."
No, I mostly just play FPS, and only a single FPS game. So
It rivals with me. It's like, you know, if you want a Hawkeye that only hits 30% of his shots, then I'm your man.
Now, I if I do say so myself, I think I was above mediocre, but but I wasn't the best by any means.
I honestly did not think I would like Marvel Rivals, because, like, you know, like when Overwatch came out, I played that for a little while, but got bored. But everybody and their fucking mother was playing it, and I'm just like, oh, fine, it's free, whatever. And I was like, oh man, this is actually really fun.
What platforms is it on?
It's on everything.
yeah, everything basically.
It's on PC, it's on the consoles. I think the only console it's not on is Switch.
All right. So give me another perception check. It seems like you have entered into like almost like an underground housing area. As you go down the hall, you see there's some rooms down here, almost like this is some kind of bunker. You don't see anyone down here though, or at least none. If there's someone down here, like yeah, they're either hiding or they're fleeing deeper into the compound. So Malin, you are still in the front.
Yes.
Okay. So as you are moving through this area, you would step on a pressure plate, and there is an explosion.
Oh, I was going to be doing perception as well.
Oh, well, I only saw that 13.
I kind of thought we were on a little break.
Well, yeah,
It's okay.
Uslug said something about that she was going to start looking for traps just before you said you needed a minute. But I mean, we didn't say.
Yeah,
anything.
there was
Yeah.
no indication.
All
That's
right,
okay.
go ahead, make a roll.
Sometimes miss indications of things. Oh, wrong sheet.
I thought again, I'm distracted talking about Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I sort of spaced out during that. Sorry.
So unfortunately, I think you still would have failed.
I'm
I
stepping
would
on the
need,
pressure plate.
I would need con saves from everyone, as a miasma explodes around you, withering you.
God damn it.
And it's more than 20
Good
feet
job, Malin!
radius.
What's the DC on it?
DC would be 18.
Oh, okay. Phew.
What is that? Oh, I don't have emboldening bond up. Should have, but
Maybe after this one we do. I'm bowling bond.
Mhm.
All right.
and it's 20 feet range.
Yeah, it
I'm
kind of engulfs the whole party. So I would need one from Glenn as well. Okay. So luckily, I think only Estrella failed. So that would be 28 necrotic damage or 14 if you made it. As
I'm
this
going to
energy
Just
withers
take
you.
this moment
Way.
to remind everyone that we have necrotic resistance potions. We should all have at least one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am resistant to necrotic, but yes.
You
I'd like to spend a luck point to try and re-roll that.
Can I
You'd have to
flash
do it
Genius
before
Star?
the outcome is determined. And I already announced the damage.
Oh.
I was looking for my macro to post it. I should have said out loud that I was looking for it.
Yeah, you can always say like, I'm going to do lucky, and then just give me a sec to macro it.
Well,
but-
I was reading Cosmic Omens again too because I was realizing that I didn't make a roll today to see whether my omen is weal or woe.
You want to do that right now? So we get
Yeah.
for the next time. For the next trap I step in.
Yeah.
the next trap.
Because there will be another trap I step in.
Let's see, it's okay. It just says roll a die, so I guess it can be any die. Cause it's just odd or even. So okay. So it's wheel.
Heal. All right.
But I
So.
have to see the creature that's making the check.
Mhm. So yeah, the cloud of necrotic energies just sort of bursts and withers you guys a bit, but then fades away. It doesn't stick around or anything. I assume you're going to keep going, right?
Yes, I will re-put up my shield again.
Okay.
My defensive shield.
Now, Malik, I think you have resistance to necrotic, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you would take half of half. So as you are going down the hallway, still kind of cautiously following them through this this little area, I'll say, Glenn, you notice there's a door off to the side, which isn't the way you're going, and normally you wouldn't think much of it because you pass by a lot of different doors, though this one seems a little thicker than some of the others you've noticed. And the material, the wood, is a little hardier. It might be some kind of storage area, or at least something being protected.
He kind of, guys, stop. Door looks a little bit weird. We passed a few nondescript doors that look pretty flimsy, but this one, take a look at it. You know something different? It looks like it's a lot thicker and sturdier. Like something's worth protecting behind this door.
And real quick, I should have asked, did you bring Boulder Bottom with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's the one who said, we'll keep you safe to Amon.
Yeah, but I realized I didn't actually ask you if you wanted him with you, so I have to make sure I'm damaging
I figure we
him
don't
as
have
well.
Eli for battle, so I figure we should probably have him at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. Are you guys looking at? Are you guys investigating the store?
Oh yeah, can I check if there's
Take a look
tracks
at it.
going into the door?
And just as you start doing that, I am gonna go ahead and put Emboldening Bond on everyone.
So can I do
So
a
we'll just
Give me
survival?
1 moment. I have to record the damage that he took.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, if he's here, he
I thought you were gonna say I have to record the damage you're all going to take. I was like, what?
Or cooked.
No, you guys record your own damage, but I have to take care of Eli. Or
Okay.
Raldo. Alright, so what did I say? 24 damage? I should...
It was 28 and then 14. If they made.
Okay, let me roll for him. Oh, no, he made it, and he's a dwarf. So, 7. Okay. Alright, so sorry, what did you say you were doing with the door?
I'd like to just check the tracks, if there's any tracks leading to the door first.
Sure, give me a survival.
And
Oh. It looks like Some tracks may have led through this door, but nothing recently. So someone they probably use this door for something, but yeah, just you don't know if anyone's hiding in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
a
guys,
door.
I'm not sure.
Okay, don't forget you guys have emboldening bond now. So every 6 seconds you can add a d4 to your rolls. Yeah. But you got to call it in advance or include it in your macro for
okay.
Lou to take it.
Okay. I mean, is there?
Hold
Is
on.
the? Can we check the trap? There are traps in front of the door.
Sure, give me a perception roll.
Uslog, could you also check with me?
I just
Yeah,
mean, I
Uslag
rolled
rolled
Oh,
a
you did.
10, so she didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's just a
Me when I spots it, you know.
Oh yeah, it just looks like a normal door. Nothing strange here.
And yeah, this one's a little bit thicker. He kind of like pats Malin on the shoulder from behind. So don't try and knock it down like the other one, old man, because he had trouble on the one that was a little bit thinner than this one.
I'm ripping the door down right now.
Can we pick it or oh there he goes.
I was
Hold it,
kidding.
Ron says.
I was kidding. I'm not gonna rip down that door.
well, considering how things have been going since we entered this place, if anyone's messing with the door, we should just stand back.
Malin, try opening it first.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand back 30 feet.
Okay, yeah.
So
back
you
up, guys.
everyone kind of separates.
Yeah.
Amon would say,
Hello.
I don't know if we should be even taking this time. They're getting further from us.
It's like flushing rodents out. And I try to open the door when I say that. Tell me the trap.
Alright, the
Yeah,
door was
35
locked.
That's a better idea. I'll go 35 feet back. as
It
well.
is it is sealed as you expected it might be.
Wait, Glenn. If you get this door open, I'll put in a good word for Diddy. A really good word with Diddy.
Maybe we can come back to this.
See what I can do.
We're doing a bread first search.
Okay, so should I roll just a Thieves' Tools check instead then? Or?
Yeah, this would be Thieves' Tools. The lock is not too hard. DC would be 15. So it's hard, but it's not insanely hard. It's like masterwork or anything. Alright, so you do indeed manage to get the door open. There is a satisfying click as you unlock it.
I then run 30 feet back.
Yeah, back up.
Like,
Back,
here
back
we go.
up.
Hup. Alright, you back up.
Open sesame.
Alright, so you're pushing it open.
Yeah.
Click, give me a deck save.
Don't forget emboldening. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
You go, what the hell? As there is a sudden burst of flame that fills the whole area. Luckily, everyone was standing back. You go, ah, and like kind of try to dive backwards, but you are still caught in it. Just not as
Oh
bad.
no, I'm immune to fire. I like. Oh, finally. Yes,
Oh
fire.
yeah, you have your
This waves
armor
Well, I mean by whatever.
or
Served
the
it to me.
ability for Surtur. All right.
Yeah.
So, funny thing about that.
Oh, interesting. All right. Funny thing about that.
You thought you were immune to fire, but you take 30 points of fire damage.
Oh, what?
Whoever decided that you're a bit.
30 points.
Yeah, maybe. Oh wait, sorry. You did make your save. Or do you think you'd be confident and just like let it hit you because you thought you were immune to fire?
I'm gonna be honest. I would be confident that it would hit.
Like,
I mean,
oh god!
Yeah, plot twist.
All right, so yeah, the flames hit you, and you are you have a rude awakening, realization that hurt.
what the hell? Sartar!
Etu Surtur.
You try to say something to Surtur, but he does not respond, which is weird. Usually he just answers you.
I'm
Or
gonna
actually,
try
maybe he
and-
doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, when you kind of think to him, you don't get any reply.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna. Is the light spell that I put on Uslug's sword still working?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys see Malin kind of blow up with flames and kind of coughing and all scorched. I think he still looks okay though. You're still at 1 level of wound, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm not that badly. I'm not.
I'm gonna cast minor illusion with the intent of putting like a flower on Malin's head. Does it happen?
Yeah, sure. You would kind of gesture, and a little flower pops up on Malin's head.
Okay. Sorry. He snaps his fingers and the flower just dissipates.
Wait, this is
Are you all
concerning.
right, Malin? Boulder Bottom says.
Should not have hurt at all.
Says, wow. I mean, a little bit overconfident, aren't we? Fire usually hurts people.
No, considering I'm the aspect, I'm supposed to be the aspect of the fire giant god. No, it's not supposed to hurt me.
Oh, that's right. You had that deal with the fire god. That's strange. This is Boulder Bottom.
And maybe he just can't reach you right now.
Yes,
reason.
that is what I'm thinking. Can we
Yeah,
message
like
each other?
Magic seems to work in here. It's not anti-magic in here, but there might be some sort of barrier or something that we've crossed into.
Yeah, Glenn, didn't you
I-
say Thovik was like you had something that? Wait a minute, didn't remember what's his face? Xerxes say he like there was something just obscuring his view from these areas,
Mm.
Thovik did.
and Thovik tried to contact you, and Xerxes was able to block him. Although to block a connection with the god is quite impressive.
Can I cast Sending? I'm gonna cast Sending to Xerxes.
Alright, your spell would fail. Boulder Bottom would say, have you tried being hit by fire on this plane yet? Maybe it has something to do with the Shadowfell?
I mean, does Glenn say the sending fail?
I just laugh and I say I just tried to cast Sending to Xerxes, and the message did not go through.
Impressive.
Which-
They've cut our connection off.
Which you would know
Communication.
either there's some kind of effect blocking magical communication, Xerxes is dead, or he's on another plane and the effect failed. Those are the
Let's
three
see how-
reasons why it wouldn't work.
I try to speak mentally. I say, Thovik, I hate bothering you. Please respond if you can hear me right now. I think I'm in an area where magical communication is blocked. Please just, like, call me a dick real quick if you can hear me.
Isn't Thovik on Gaian though?
Or he still was
Yeah,
able
he
to
was
talk
able
to him.
to talk. Yeah, he was not happy. Did Glenn tell us about that?
Oh,
I think he did.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he
okay.
did.
You would, this is through the connection, right?
Yeah, that I have with Thovik. That the Thovik, like, planted me, right?
Thovik does not reply. Either because he chose not to or because you're being blocked. It's hard to know for sure. But it's starting to
Well-
make you think you might have, there might be something blocking, like scrying and communication effects in here.
Good thing you gave Thovik a heads up.
Then
about
you
that.
do, I'll say, I guess Malin, you're pretty smart. Give me an intelligence check. You might know something.
Areas, like, this whole area is under, like, a mind blank spell.
Stray is concentrating.
Oh, I just wasn't sure if I was still invisible after taking that
Oh, okay.
necrotic damage.
So
Do I do-
Malin, you
God.
do remember Xerxes saying something about the cultists being able to block his ability to find them.
Yes, they're doing something. They're blocking us, our connection somehow.
It could be something
Impressive.
about this area.
Impressive. Most impressive by the cultists. I mean, I guess
Well-
we shouldn't be surprised from these rats. They've dug in quite well.
These hallways, I I don't think they built them, though. This might be some kind of old, some kind of old bunker, though. Yeah, I have no idea what this was before. Maybe they
It's
built it.
interesting because not only is it blocking communication, it's blocking, like...
Connection to power.
It's blocking, yeah, blessings. Ooh, actually, this is a good opportunity.
Check the Bath Golding.
Well, I was about to,
I wonder when we came into this, because I was able to look through my familiar's eyes across that one door. So I wonder where the barrier starts and ends, or whatever this
that's
is.
what I was just gonna say, Estrella, has Estrella told? I mean, because Estrella, you have level. I mean, out of character, you have levels in Warlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever said anything in character about like, oh, some of my powers from a pact I made?
No.
Okay. Damn it! So I don't think I would know.
But
I
you
mean-
definitely, you have, even though he's usually invisible, you have now seen Slurp, and she's introduced him, and if you know anything about quasits, you would probably assume that it's a quasit. Well, okay, it's not a quasit, it's an ooze from the astral plane, but mechanically it's a quasit, so I don't know if that would help you figure things out or not. Yeah.
I would know that that's not a regular wizard familiar, though, right?
Okay, exactly. That's, I guess, what I was trying to get at.
Okay, he kind of looks at Australia. Australia, I haven't really asked this before, but like, your familiar is not a normal familiar that wizards have. Do you mind me asking how you got it?
Oh, I picked him up in the astral sea. He took a liking to me and has been with me ever since.
Okay, has she casted any warlock spells that like?
I'm not sure. Let me look here.
I mean, could I identify that she has pack magic by basically
okay,
how she
yes.
casts?
Okay, if you know stuff, if Glenn would recognize this, then yes. The fact that she goes invisible all the time, you suspect might be an Eldritch invocation.
Okay. As I said, I don't want to bet at this too much.
Amon says, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but shouldn't we hurry? Seem to be lingering here.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
Okay, we'll get him.
Usla, can you check your bag of holding real quick?
Yeah, I was just waiting for all that to get done, but yeah, she would definitely take a peek in the bag of holding.
You said
the bag of holding seems to have a bottom, as you can just stick your hand in it.
This is even stronger. This is even stronger than the dimensional. What was it? That dimensional lock, dimensional hold that they did in back in Heroic Halls.
Australia, you said that your you pull from many different sources of your magic, right?
Yes.
Is one of them perhaps borrowed?
It is indeed. Oh, that reminds me.
I would touch my amulet and attempt to enter my genie vessel.
No, it would fail. It seems that this place is preventing any type of travel like that.
Yeah. Okay. I was expecting at that by this point. Yeah.
Did you try to go invisible where Malin is?
I've been invisible since we came into the halls before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anti-magic, but it's something. It's like it's an area of.
Well, so I was wondering that if it was powerful enough to block the blessing you got from Surtur. I was curious if it would be able to block patron magic.
Oh.
Well, she's still invisible, so.
But
I had already cast it, and I've maintained concentration on it.
Uslog's bag is not
So like pocket dimensions.
Could you break concentration on it and try casting it again where Malin is?
She might not be able to regain it, but then again, they still see it through invis.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that maybe some of them wouldn't see it. That's why I just figured I'd keep concentrating. But yeah, I'm not expecting it to be super useful. I was just looking to see if there's anything else I could try.
But Aima's right. Time is wasting.
I would tell him, well, I actually just tested something when I invoked my amulet, and I can confirm that some of my borrowed powers did not work.
He nods. Okay, well.
All right, let's see what's on the side of the door real quick.
Damn it, I was just about to say that now.
Okay, can I go and check what's behind the door?
Yeah, sure. So it looks like, as you thought, some kind of supply room, though it looks as if a lot of the supplies may have been removed more recently. There's a couple of things in here, but yeah, you think, actually I'll say survival might tell you something. Or, well, yeah, survival or investigation. Either of those might reveal something.
I have no clue.
Malin's been having a bad day, so she's just...
So yeah, you see signs that this room was emptied within the last few days, possibly even today. There may have been a lot more stuff here. Almost like maybe they knew they were going to have to retreat from here.
They knew we were coming.
Someone took them off.
I look at Eamon. Who did you tell about this location?
Says, well, I mean, I discussed it with my family, father, and some of my siblings. We spoke of some of the rumors in certain places where these people might be. I mean, not too many people. Well, why do you ask?
Because it seems they knew we were coming. And you know what that means. I pray.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay.
He says, I wouldn't think it, but could one of my family members be working with them? He kind of,
I'm afraid,
looks around. He says, it did seem like they were ready for us. He suddenly looks very worried. Well, should we... I mean, they might still be in here. Shouldn't we keep following them?
If they knew we were straight up coming, then this is... we're most certainly going into a trap. I mean, fortunately, my power on Surtur is... I'm not too dependent on it, so I'm willing to keep going. But, how else does the party feel?
Well, let me... I want to go ahead and drop invisibility and try to re-up it.
Yeah, you'd be able to.
Okay, yeah. See, I mean, I was just thinking that, like, things granted by my patron aren't that different than clerical spells that my deity, granted me, So, okay.
Looks a little worried.
I think it's, like, actual communications that need to... that originate outside of this space can't reach into this space, and vice versa, like the connections to interdimensional, what do you call it, spaces, or that have to, like, actually kind of leave or enter this space, I think, must be what is affected. I don't know. Yeah, let's go.
Very well. Let us. I mean, can I get a little healing, since I probably will be taking a couple more explosions to the face?
We do have potions as well. But
okay. Yeah. I mean, I will take I have a potion of greater healing and a superior healing potion, but I mean, I'll swing.
Olderbottom says, not to discourage you, Malin, but Uslag is pretty good at dodging things. She's pretty quick with her reflexes. The one's dexterity based.
There's a little extra. I don't want to use anything.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I'll take that.
I will. Resisting some other sorts of magic.
That is true. Well,
what did you say?
All right.
Uslag, you've been really quiet for me today. I've been trying to turn you up, but I have to turn, like, everyone else down.
Let me.
Would you say
Does that
that?
help?
Yes, that,
Oh, yeah,
'cause
that
I
is
had
a
you on
little-
max.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, because I there's like a tab on my headphones that I sometimes forget. I need to like toggle. So yeah. Is that better?
Yes, much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Cool.
Because I had you maxed, and I was like trying to turn everyone else down, and I couldn't turn you up
Sorry.
anymore.
Alright, so you continue through this complex, passing by some rooms, but they might just be like bedrooms or living areas, kind of pass by a mess hall type area. Finally, as you follow the tracks to the end, you would come to a point where there is a teleportation circle on the ground in this last room. And it seems the footsteps lead up to here. And Amon would say,
tracks.
I thought you said there was no teleportation in this area.
I didn't say
Maybe only-
teleportation. We said connection. Some sort of magical connection.
But wouldn't this need to? If there isn't that very similar to things coming and going from an interdimensional space?
That's a good question. Does anyone have vortex warp? I know Eli does, but he's not
I do.
here technically.
Well, but
Can you
I would
vortex?
expect, I would
He
expect
tries
that to work.
to vortex warp Malin. How high is the ceiling?
In this room,
It does.
it's,
I'm
like,
good.
it's like 10 feet. It's not too high.
Guys,
I
stop!
find-
Stop! Before you do that, Glenn, stop. Estrella would be like, "Wait a second. You are trying to do magic that affects. You're doing the magic in this space, and it affects something in this space. I expect it's gonna work. You're not trying to go through the barrier, right?"
Well, the teleportation circle is it's like the spell. You can use it with the teleportation circle spell if you have this marking to teleport in here.
Okay.
It's not like you step
am-
in the circle and vanish, or at least you don't think it is. You could try it.
I am going to sit down next to the circle and start jotting it down, recording it.
Take a rubbing of it, perhaps.
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah.
Would I be able to then use that with a teleport spell if we had the markings?
Yes, so with the teleport spell, teleportation circle makes it, I think, 100% chance that your teleportation will not fail if you have if you've seen the markings.
Okay.
And what
Then
should
I
I
can.
call this?
I
In
guess
my-
teleportation circle for Children of Shadow Bunker.
Children
Because
of
you don't
Shadow
know,
Bunker.
you don't really know the name of this place. You just,
Right. That's
yeah.
why I was wondering how to record it.
If you want to record the city, just in case
Bunker
like you
near-
forget later, the
Could
city
I
is Devaldia.
Could I use my teleportation spell to try and reverse engineer the teleportation circle to see where its last target was or something?
Like where they went?
Yeah, like where the destination was from the last teleportation, with the last time it was used.
I mean, not normally. I'll say with a really powerful Arcana check, you might get a clue. DC 25.
I get. Could I use my spell slot to aid Eli doing it?
Or I'll
He's got
make.
teleport too.
If you wanna, it was a pretty good idea. If you want to spend a story point, I'll give it to you.
And you also have emboldening bond.
Even
as
though
well,
the magic doesn't generally work like that.
if you want to use emboldening bond.
Like, I'll give you a free pass for a story point since it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll use story.
Alright. So you think that the teleportation magics went to possibly, well, you're pretty sure it went to a cave area that is nearby. So it's somewhere still within the city. They may have fled to maybe another underground sanctuary of theirs.
It looks like the last time this was used, it was to a nearby cave. So somewhere still in the city, though.
Yeah, somewhere
Another
nearby.
question, with that, having possibly the coordinates or the location in my mind, could I teleport us there?
You don't think you could teleport there. You don't have that much information. You just have some information you gleaned from the last casting.
So,
Can you give the spelling of the city, please, Lou?
Yes,
Is this the city that we teleported into from?
Yeah, it's the capital of the Vidian Empire. Devaldia.
Devaldia.
Devaldia. Devaldia.
Leia. DIA. Did you say D?
Yes.
Devaldia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, got it.
Here, I'll just type it out.
Sorry. I realized after I put it through that E didn't make sense with the pronunciation you had used, so.
That is the spelling. Devaldia. Alright, so what do you want to do?
Well, this was a bust.
Yeah.
Seems you have to deal with people in your own closet.
My apologies, friends. You might be right. This is devastating if it's true. Maybe we should look around this place for clues.
Yeah, I mean, if they had time to prepare for,
And I mean, I doubt they will have left much, but it would be worth a walk around. And let Malin destroy any more traps for us.
zoinks! Like, let's split up, gang. Look for clues.
Well, we could go and see if we can go and take a look, see if there's any documents or anything. But if they knew we were coming, they probably scrubbed this place quite thoroughly. So our chances of finding something is, fortunately, looks slim.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if they only... When did you find out about that rumor? Last night? Boulderbottom would say to Amon. He says, well, that's when I talked about it with my family. And Boulderbottom would say, well, that's only a day to move their things. There might be something they left behind. You know, it's only been a few hours since then.
Yeah, well, let's look in case there are any clues, or I'm sure I don't necessarily expect to find valuables. They would have taken those first, I bet. But yeah, let's see what we can find. It's worth a walk through.
All right. So this is a fairly large area. Searching it will take several hours, and I'd probably say you would just use either perception or investigation. Or again, if you have a different skill that you think is appropriate, let me know.
Survival, maybe?
Are we gonna be?
I think it would be less survival because it's more you're looking for stuff rather than natural like signs.
I guess.
Well, and I assume that we're gonna move sort of cautiously because of the traps we've encountered.
Yeah, so there's definitely watching out for those as well.
Okay, so you said perception or?
Yeah, do you want to spend a few hours looking around this abandoned bunker?
What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
That's a long
Well,
time, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
pretty much just give up on
Okay.
the
I'm just
idea.
Husk because he's like, man, I wanted to go back to the black market today.
Well, yeah, that will add it all new time.
Yeah. Well, let's get that list together tonight for the one guy, and then maybe he'll be able to either find stuff for us or give us some leads on people, contacts he has that might help us find more stuff.
All right. So
There are a few other places on Eamon's list, right, for today that we were going to check out.
man, these are some
Or what?
crappy rolls. What about
Or was
you?
it just this one?
What about
Well, I
you,
Let me use
Glenn?
Can I flash it?
I already rolled one.
Oh, did
I
you?
will-
Oh, I see. Who didn't roll? I only see 3.
I
Oh, there you
rolled
are.
just now. but I was
You all
asking a
have
question before I did.
you all have traced pictures. You all look like white.
Yes,
mixed up.
What?
Because we have a resident artist.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Okay, I use Flash of Genius on that if possible.
On yours or Malon's?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, Malon's.
Sure.
Investigation. So that's a 22.
Okay, sure. So Malin, as you are looking through what you think may have been an old library area, because there's a bunch of empty bookshelves, you step on something, kind of wincing, because you're like, oh shit, a pressure plate. But then you realize it is not a pressure plate, but like a floor tile that seems hollow. Yes, Malin, that's right, because you rolled 19.
So I stepped on it and like I feel like there's something underneath it.
Well, it kind of sunk in a bit, and it feels like there might be like a space underneath it, if that makes sense. Like it's not the tile isn't against the floor.
I whistle to everyone and say, I think I might have found a secret secret entrance, and I try to look on the floor and investigate.
Okay. So the tile does pull up, and it's kind of near the wall, so it's not in a place where one would normally step often. But when you pull it up, there is a button underneath it.
Did everyone come over?
Sure, we could say that if
I'm staying 30
wanted
feet
to.
away from you.
Standard fireball formation.
Fireball formation.
Everyone's 25 feet from everyone else.
Alright. Press.
Okay.
Alright, so you press the button. There is a click, and a secret door opens. Inside, you see a table, a couple of chairs, and several tomes that look like they have been used, possibly read through recently.
I'll go take a look at them. I'll hand out the tomes to the group, and let's look at this.
Hey, we found
So,
a secret cultist stash.
The tomes look like history books, combined with several arcana. I'll take, if you're just trying to read through to get some info, investigation or just an intelligence check if you're just looking through them.
Eli, we need your mind.
I suppose. Apparently we don't. Malin's rolling like gangbusters today.
Yeah. Either not once when it's useless, and then when it needs.
I need to check your dice. Should have not waited. Alright, so Eli is looking as well. Where's Eli's sheet? I have too many freaking things on my screen. There it is. Investigation. Not trained. No. Alright, so Malin. You are looking through one of these books. It is very old, and actually, good question I might have to ask. Do you speak Elven?
I don't.
Okay. I'll just say these are written in Common, because yeah, it's a good chance that some of these might be. Do you have history?
No.
All right. So you're reading through the book, and you kind of find a bookmarked page talking about an event that happened long ago. It speaks of a burst of fire from the sky and a creature being hurled into the Shadowfell as punishment for the transgressions of the Shadow Elves against against a powerful demon lord.
Interesting.
And
very interesting.
Apparently, after a lot of death, this creature was sealed away somewhere under the city. Which is a bit odd.
This is interesting.
And as you turn the page, you see an entry that might make you a little uneasy.
Is it Malin?
Some kind of huge beast. And yeah, some kind of old story of it possibly being sealed somewhere under the city here.
Wow, guys, why do I hear boss music all of a sudden? No.
Well, they're cultists trying to...
It would seem
that-
so.
Is that what I think it is? Oh my god.
It seems that, I mean, bar them doing some sort of ritual, their objective is to kill and slaughter as many people as possible, and, well, what better way to do it than to unseal this creature right here?
But doesn't the ritual usually use some kind of miasma,
Their
dark
souls,
magic?
right?
I mean, this seems like something else.
Could they be
wait.
trying to corrupt it with the...
Are the cultists trying to awaken this?
Seems so.
Well, does it say that in the book, or are you just saying that? Are you just talking shit again, Malin? Boulderbottom says.
Guys, I just slapped him
Are
over
you
the
messing
top of
with me again? As he starts shaking you.
I
Don't
slapped
mess
him
with
over the
me!
top of it. I say, does this look like I'm kidding?
He says, that's in the book, but like I said, are you sure that's what they're after? He says, even I know what that beast is.
Why? It's bookmarked here, and we all know that in order for the ritual to succeed, they need to kill as many people as possible.
This is a
So you
good
tell me.
question. Is the Tarask as infamous in-game as it is out of game?
I mean, it is pretty infamous out of game. You probably wouldn't know as much about it, although any knowledge check could tell you about the Tarask. It's more of a thing of legend, though. Not many people have actually seen one, obviously, or know that much about it.
Yeah. Okay, but like, especially as a bard and a spy, I would have heard stories about people like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you would know this is a legendary beast that's like punishment from the gods.
It's funny for how infamous this is. In all the years I've been playing 5e, I've never gotten to fight one.
Well, let's hope you never have to fight one.
Yeah, I think that's one of
I
those
wanna
things
fight
you're
one.
supposed to not ever fight.
All right. Well, anyway, that is what you find in this book.
I'm
Probably
not sure
makes
if we
you,
can be certain that that's their plan for it, but clearly they have some plan for it. I don't think that a monster stomping around and killing people helps their shadow rituals. Usually they
Same.
have to kill
No, but it
with
does.
their actual rituals in order to absorb the life force.
Wait,
How?
How does you? He thinks for a second. Okay, I'm just trying to string thoughts together. Hold on. How? Isn't the cost of soul crystals life?
Yes, but according to
It's
what
the crystals
Uslag has
themselves.
said about the rituals they've interrupted, the actual ritual takes the life because it's sucked into the crystals.
It's like that dark
So,
miasma. It flows
yeah.
over
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, like the monster doing the killing, I don't think is the same thing, but that doesn't mean they don't have a plan for this creature. Clearly, they have
there-
an interest.
So the killing has to take place during the ritual to feed the soul crystal, to create the soul crystal.
Does
That's
anyone?
a plan.
I guess the only one who would have had exposure to the actual ritual would have been Uslag. I'll say you can make an
think-
intelligence check to try to remember what you.
I mean, I
'cause one of
remember...
your, I think it was Rune, your wizard, who did the research, but you were kind of with him. Or if
Yeah.
you remember as a
I can do-
player, I'll give it to you as well.
I just remember when we fought Malik back in Issyk, that once we fell unconscious, or I guess whatever it's called now, out of character with
Dying.
when you've reached 0. That was when the crystal was able to Absorb us? I don't know what the word is. But that's what I remember as a player. I feel like that's what it was.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check. I'll see if Uslag remembers anything else.
Yeah, this was years ago. Alright.
Oh! Alright, well.
Yeah.
It's
Any
like
intelligence
something
check
with death and energy.
So what I remembered was not correct, like...
well, you remember the fight correctly, but you're not sure...
I just remember Uslag fell unconscious and she ended up in a crystal.
Yeah, you remember that fight. You're not sure if that is how the soul crystal works.
What about the ritual that she stopped? She was with the group that they stopped the ritual near New Havas.
Yeah, we had to fight a shadow dragon that
Yeah, so I guess you did. I'm trying to think if anyone. No, none of you guys were here for the New Havasgard fiasco.
Uslag was is what I was saying.
Yeah, I meant besides Uslag.
2022, I think.
But this is the downside of a low intelligence character.
Right. I understand, but I understand that she isn't gonna have the research on it like Rune would have, but
yeah.
Right. But I think she would remember the experiences she had, and it's like for me, it's like it's been 3 years, so I just feel like
Clank also talked a lot about it too. So
yeah, you did actually have a specialist in your party. Unfortunately, he left. Yeah, I mean, you remember in the fight with Guyvok, he was trying to absorb you guys because he kept calling you Zation. You're not sure if that's the same way the ritual works for normal people, though.
Was that the fight that was in the Twilight Citadel in the Void?
No.
No,
we fought Guyvok in the Void, but Malik and Isik at the vault.
Right, but he just said that's what Guyvok was trying to do. I
think he meant Malik, yeah.
Or Malik,
okay. Malik, okay, got it.
Yeah, because the only other ritual that Uslag would have been there to help stop, as it was happening, was the one for New Havasgard.
So I'll say you don't know the details of how the ritual works. Maybe the Tarask walking around stepping on everyone would trigger the soul crystal thing, but you're not sure.
Malin was there when we found the frozen giants in the ice, and he and Clank together talked over the altar where those partially charged crystals had been started.
I think all
so.
Of you
Malin probably has some details.
Yeah, I think you were all there for that because that was Glenn was here as well.
Yeah.
I mean, player-wise. All right.
Yeah, player.
So, what do you want to do?
Like I said, we don't know if it would, but even if it is, I mean, it sounds like there are caves and bunkers like this all over the city. Who's to say that they don't have, that they aren't planning on making a ritual citywide? And then unleashing the Tarask to just stomp on everybody and let that be the sacrifice for, a gigantic soul crystal.
Well, that's exactly a citywide ritual is exactly what was done in Isik and what was in progress in New Havasgard that the Foxgloves stopped. Or they, I think that they had just changed their name to Splitlanders around that time.
What happened in Isik, Aimon asks.
100 years ago, according to what Uslag and Rune have told me, 100 years ago, a similar ritual to what the Children of Shadow were doing near New Havasgard was performed successfully in Isik, and that's what obliterated the city. And many soul crystals were formed all over the city from the deaths.
Well, obviously we can't let them get away with that here.
Well, if they didn't need a Tarask for that ritual, Glenn starts thinking.
Here's another thought. So the whole plot up in the mountains with the trolls and frost giants was experimenting with making stronger crystals than what the general humans turn into. Maybe they want to use this Tarask life force, try and kill it, and make some sort of powerful crystal with it. I don't know. Just
endless with the Tarask. The possibilities for what they could do is quite endless and deadly.
Perhaps
we should
they're
discuss
trying.
this with Xerxes. He probably has some knowledge of this.
Perhaps they're trying to make us. Perhaps they're trying to control the Tarask with the soul crystals.
Maybe.
Possibilities, at least. Let's discuss with Xerxes, but I turn to Amon. I think our next step, though, is we have to do a thorough investigation of your family. Because as you can see, the stakes have just gotten significantly higher for not just your family, but for the entire populace of the city. Wouldn't you agree?
He seems very nervous and says, yes, I mean, I've been told stories of a great monster attacking our people long ago, and I didn't think that it was so close to the city.
Under no circumstances are you allowed to tell what has happened to any of your family until we talk and investigate with them. I need a list of every single person that you told that that we were going to investigate this place. Every single one is a suspect.
Yes, of course. You're probably right. Even those that I think couldn't possibly be traitors, I can't take any risks. So I will tell you the family members that were present at the dinner where I had discussed this. He says the only other people who may have known were the the elves I got the clues off of. They're the only other ones who would have known about. Well, they would have known about the places I was going to search, but not when or who. So maybe it must be someone in the family.
While your brother's an odd duckling, it's not him. You can trust him.
He says, "Is it safe to rule anyone out?"
How are you so certain, Glenn?
I talked with him. Listen, I am an impeccable judge of character. I'll have you know.
We will. I nod in affirmation. Give us a list of all the people, and we will schedule. We need to schedule interview with each and every one, where Glenn will meet and discuss with them.
Look, your brother's, he's a sketchy dude, and he's done some sketchy stuff, but he doesn't like the cultists.
Well, as far as I knew, none of us liked the cultists. But yes, I think for now I will refrain from telling anyone. If you wish to tell my brother things, that is your decision. But
I'll, need to know basis. He doesn't need to know. I just worry him.
He is a biomancer. He may know something about what their plans with the Tarask would be. Still, I feel like it would be a risk to trust anyone at this point.
Well, I could just talk to him on a theoretical standpoint. He's kind of he's a nerd. He'd probably like to talk about stuff like that.
He just nods. So it is. I assume are you heading out now?
I think we head out. What time is it now?
So you get back around 4:30 in the
time for black market.
It would be too late in the day for the shadow market.
Okay. Glenn? When do you want to schedule? We need to schedule interviews with the entire Zalora family on the list Amon provides to us.
Okay, can we do those interviews at night, like after we do the black market?
I mean, it's like I really want to go
black
shopping.
Market closes in.
I'm just trying to make, I'm just saying, if they're available at night, then why not make the best use of our time and go get magic items during the day to better help us fight evil,
I mean, yes, if we are going to go fight at Tarask, we need some upgrades.
Like I said, we gotta get our druid a staff of the woodlands. Our poor druid doesn't have a staff.
I am not eaten up about not having a staff of the woodlands. I am far less attuned, connected with the land than the types of druids you're thinking of.
Why don't we do a break? Because I just realized we hadn't taken one. All right, yeah, let's do a break and let people do stuff.
Staff, we gotta get Malin
some charm. We gotta get me a flame tongue.
No, I'm Tarask. Whoa, boss fight! I was wondering what the next boss fight is gonna be.
I feel like the goal is to stop the Tarask from being summoned, but
Of course,
It's actually
of
going to
course,
be
but-
Malin who wakes it up.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
you're like you
whoop,
defeat the
Yeah,
cultists. You're like, it's good job, everyone. Good, Malin. What do you do? He's like, slap it in the face. He's like,
even if
wake up.
we're able
Let's
to
fucking do
defeat the
this.
Tarask, there is going to be a lot of destruction in the process.
Malin, no.
well,
Get
like
out from there.
I had a random encounter in a campaign. The DM just like, oh yeah, either you see this, you see a T-Rex, and you're here at war, and I'm like, oh man, I have never fought a T-Rex yet before, and it's just like, you guys could totally sneak by it, and I'm just like, I'm playing a cleric, and I'm just like, I accidentally used thaumaturgy and cough.
Flame strike.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, the dino's coming right at you, and everybody's like, God damn it, man. I'm like, can't help it. I want to fight a dinosaur. I want to fight a T-Rex.
I don't know if you want to fight a Tarask.
Yeah, I mean, at least once, man.
Yes, Tarask.
I mean, that's like world-ending stuff, right?
It's supposed to be the highest CR enemy in the monster manual, right? I mean, I know some stuff later, like in Fizban's came out that's like higher CR, like great gemmed worms and shit. But
Plus, if these cultists are summoning it, they're probably going to have it be all corrupted and have...
Do any of you have nature knowledge?
What?
Do any of you have nature knowledge?
Uslog does.
Yeah, sure. I'll say from your knowledge. No, this would probably be maybe more Arcana or religion.
Eli.
So yeah, I mean, he would say, I think it would be extremely risky to fight a Tarask, and we should avoid that. If it is still trapped, then we should try to make sure it does not get free.
Of course, but I mean, if we have to prepare for the worst, guys.
This foe is beyond any of you. Run!
Yeah, I think it'll be a feat in itself to stop whatever ritual they're going to be doing.
Yeah, he says it would be extremely, extremely dangerous to fight a Tarask. He says, though it's not a smart creature, but if it swallows you, you're in a little bit of trouble.
He kind of just like elbow bumps Malin.
Oh,
Yeah,
just a
probably
double.
more trouble than being swallowed by a undead void plesiosaur.
Says, well,
Yeah.
I'm
That
not
was pretty
sure. I
unpleasant.
wasn't swallowed by one, but I imagine it would be similar.
Glenn whispers a generic dirty joke to Malin about swallow.
I just shoot him a look. I'm like, really, dude? Like, really?
On that note, I'll be right back, guys.
Yep. No, I gotta come up with a nickname. This is like one of the biggest boss fights ever. I have to come up with a nickname for this guy.
Terry.
Yeah, I was gonna probably say Terry. I mean, it's pretty easy. Terry. Yeah, Terry, Nessie, Froggy, Meatloaf. Just keeps getting better and better. Scary Terry. This guy is badass enough that I'm willing to give him an adjective. Okay, Froggy. I didn't call him Flamey Froggy. I just call him Froggy. Okay, Nessie. I just call him Nessie. This deserves an adjective. Scary Terry.
No shield, Nessie.
No shield. That is pretty scary, but that is also pretty scary.
What do you mean my shield doesn't work? It's bullshit.
Bullshit. Not built this for the counter.
But
I had a GM. I didn't play with him more than a session or two because he had so much homebrew in his game, and he fucking hated casters. And he especially hated Shield. He thought the Blade Singer and like the Eldritch Knight build, and basically builds like Malin, were super overpowered. And so not only did he nerf Shield so that it only worked on one attack, but he basically created a cantrip like Booming Blade, except its secondary effect, instead of like doing damage when you move, after the extra damage, it basically if it hit, it didn't allow the person to use shield as a reaction.
Yeah.
So they're basically just a free cantrip that you could take to just not allow anybody to use shield when you cast it as a reaction.
I mean, shield isn't that great. It's okay.
Well, no, he's just like, oh, it's so overpowered because they can have such high AC, and I'm like, yeah, that's why you throw magic at them. Or like saving throw abilities. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, trust me, I've played Blade Singers. They're not that hard to kill. Like, they have super low HP usually, and they're like,
I
and
killed
builds
one
like
a few
Malin.
weeks ago. He just ran
I
up.
mean,
he ran into like a bunch of guys. He's like, my AC is so high, and then like I think he failed a con save and like melted, and then like
yeah,
just died.
or it's just like one crit. It's just like one crit will take me down. It's like I still have wizard HP, you know, like. Or I said the saving throws. It's.
Do you remember how Eldwin died, Mary? Some kind of ability. I forget. One of the vampires did something to him and just melted him.
I didn't remember Eldwin dying.
He died in the vampire cave.
I think I missed that session.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But he also has very high AC.
Well, actually, when you first asked the question, I was thinking of Eldwin from the Tuesday group, who spelled his name differently, but was Eldwin as well. And he did die, but that was before I joined that group. And he came back. So.
I had a lot of arguments with that GM. Because I was trying to tell him, like, dude, the build's not, like, it's a strong build, but it's not overpowered. It's not, like, unbeatable. If it is, then you're just kind of a bad GM, I feel like. Or just lazy.
I mean, the easiest way to defeat a wizard is to just say, your rest was interrupted. GG. It's like, what do you mean I have no spells? Ah, crap.
Plus, like, I mean, Malin's build is
Fire
more,
blast.
like...
Fire blast.
Is more durable, I feel like, than Blade Singer. But it's less control and powerful than like a Blade Singer, because Blade Singer still has the wizard spells. But either way, like, that build's very good at like one thing, being a tank and like having a high AC. Just let him have fun and have high AC, you know, like, because it's super fun to have like a bunch of attacks come at you and just fucking deflect all of them. I mean, like, you realize you're not immortal. Like, there's stuff that can kill you, but it's just like, I just feel like, if they build their character to do like one thing really well, like, let them have fun doing that thing really well, man.
No fun allowed.
I know, that's why it's just like, no fun if it's this. But he was totally fine with Polar Mastery mixed with Sentinel. Like, that's not to him, that wasn't broken. But okay. Like Polearm, Sentinel Master, or Sentinel, Polearm Mastery and Sentinel. Glaive, somebody comes up to you, swipe them at 10 feet, they can't get close to you, your turn. Take one step back, or no, attack, and then take one step back, and say, come back into my range again. As long as somebody only has 5 foot range and you don't miss, they will never get to you.
Well, unless there's 3 people.
Well, yeah.
It's good. It's definitely good for a 1v1. But you only get 1 reaction a turn.
See, that is it's interesting. That's how you can tell, like, because I've seen like custom class or subclasses where they'll be like, oh, you can get a second reaction per turn, or like a second bonus action. I'm like, okay, that's where it kind of goes into super overpowered. That's like, reactions are super, like, especially like my Chronomancer wizard. I have so many reactions. I mean, I've got a Staff of Dunamancy, I've got Chrono Shift, I've got
what, more Matt Mercer content? Isn't that Wildemarsh?
Yeah, it's from Wildmount.
Yeah, I remember Chronomancer. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Who balanced this?"
It's fun. Like I said, I've always loved the idea of a time wizard ever since like fucking playing Final Fantasy Tactics. So like,
I like the idea of it. I just don't think. Well, I don't know. Honestly, like I never played with one. I just heard some horror stories about them just not balanced well.
It's a little strong, I would say, but it's not like crazy strong compared to like, Divination Wizard with Portent. In some ways Portent is better until you get like, but like the higher level Chronomancer stuff is really powerful. Like being able to create a little magical bead and storing a spell in it and then be able to give it to like a party member to use is really powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Plus they've got their I think temporal awareness or whatever, their like 14th level ability. They can use their reaction to just any roll they can choose if it succeeds or fails, and there's no limit on it, but every time you use it, it's a level of exhaustion. And I really like that because like it's a really powerful high level ability, and it really says like, okay, there's no limit on it, you can totally use it to your debt, to your fucking dead basically, but it's going to cost you every time you use it. You use it more than once per long rest, it's going to cost you more and more each time. And I've had times where it's just like to keep the party alive. I've been at like 3 levels of exhaustion from that. And then like trying to slog through dungeons with like 3 levels of exhaustion when we don't have like downtime to just take a week off or something is killer. It's like either that or let somebody die.
So it's like no matter what, you succeed on a roll?
Or fail, like, because you can use it on a part, you can use it on anybody.
That's a really cool idea that I don't think that's a good game mechanic. I feel like there should always be, like, uncertainty. Like, especially in, like, clutch moments where it's like, oh god, like, are we gonna be able to do this? And it's like, no, don't worry, guys. I got levels of exhaustion, we're fine. Like, all the tension's gone.
But after, like, especially for a wizard, after 1 or 2 levels of exhaustion, it gets really bad.
Well, yeah, but you only, it's not like there are game-ending rolls, like, every fight. You only come upon something that important once in a while. So, I feel like it's the same reason why I hate silvery barbs with a passion. Like, I can see why people like it, and I can see why it's interesting, but it's like, basically, you're one of the only things that, like, can make, well, not the only thing, but, like, one of the more dangerous things about combat is, like, enemies critting you. So it's like, if you turn that off, it's like, oh, well, yeah, whatever.
If you fully, if it comes to the point where, like, let's say the monster manual comes out, and, like, if it gets to the point where you decide to fully transition over to the 2024 rulebook, I would recommend doing something either one of my other GMs does, where one of them just allows content from the 2024 stuff and Tasha's. So, like, no Strixhaven, no Xanathars.
Well, I don't mind a lot of the stuff from those books. Like I said, it's mostly just the silvery barb spell that I dislike. I can't think of anything else I really dislike.
It's mostly that, like, from what they said, that Tasha, like, the only thing that's supposed to really be viable with the 2024 stuff is Tasha's stuff and later. And so that does mean, technically, if you follow that, is like kind of what they intend, Xanathars is supposed to be out, which actually means Absorb Elements is out, because they did not reprint that in the 2024 stuff yet.
Well,
so it is annoying playing in one of my games with no fucking Absorb Elements.
There's nothing wrong with Absorb Elements. It's
yeah, it should. Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, come on, man.
That feels like a silly rule.
Yeah.
Check out Absorb Elements. I felt like that was a very fun tactical spell to have.
Yeah, and like I said, and I would understand, and that's what sucks is like, because with no Strixhaven, I understand, but it also means like Vortex Warp is a casualty of war on that.
Yeah, and I love Vortex Warp. I don't know why people don't like it. I think it's a great support spell.
Because it's not like you can't use it on yourself. I don't think.
No, and it takes your action, so it's like you're sacrificing your action to tactically position things.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I really like Vortex.
But also, Roll20 is the new sheet is hot garbage, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the 2024 AK 5.5
I've heard it's getting better.
rolls.
I've heard some...
not yet.
Really?
It's still pretty bad.
Okay.
Like it doesn't have all the functionality of the old sheet, which should have been like the first thing they did. Was like, okay, the sheet, if we're gonna make this like, if we're gonna force this on people, it should at least do what the old sheet does, with like the custom resource boxes and stuff.
I don't know why they don't just let you add shit from the 2024 to the old sheets. Like,
probably because it's more work to code it all for the old sheet. They are probably trying to really push for people to use the new sheet. Also, the linking of spells, like, they don't give all the information. If you link a spell, it doesn't give you any of the stuff like range or components or any of the descriptive stuff above the description. Which is
it's getting to the point where, like, especially now, like in one of my new campaigns where we're doing 2024 stuff, I'm playing a wizard, and it's getting really annoying to, like, alter all my spells and stuff. And it's just getting to the point where, like, man, I'm actually thinking for the first time to actually use D&D Beyond.
I mean, I put in that comment on Roll20 if you want to complain about it. A bunch of people on the site have complained, so if you want to use my link and go to my comment and upvote it on Roll20, maybe they'll actually listen.
Yeah, I hope so.
I got 12 votes already. People are like, oh, it's hard. They don't want to do it because it's hard. It's like, ugh. Well, then you shouldn't have released a sheet that didn't work.
Yeah,
That it, like, really pissed me off. Like, I look past most things for Roll20, and they have plenty of sins that really bug me, but I'm usually able to just be like, okay, well, it's not like a hugely professional outlet like Beyond. Then they do shit like this, I'm just like, you motherfuckers.
Same way, yeah. I mean, I'm very much a Roll20 apologist, but this is, it's hard to apologize for this.
Sorry, guys. I think we're past the break time. Is everyone back?
I'm back.
Yep.
I want to play some D&D. Shut up, you guys. Fucking bitching online all day. All right. Although we are getting close, we can do some more stuff before we call it. So you headed back, and what are you gonna do for the rest of the day?
I think I guess we can go talk to Xerxes about what we learned, and
oh right,
we need Amon to set up interviews for tomorrow night, if possible. But
yes, tomorrow evening, after the black market closes.
Okay, Amon.
In the evening, yes, I don't know if Father will agree to it, but I can certainly ask and see what I can set up.
Yes, this
maybe
is
paramount
importance, but don't reveal why.
Maybe we could have dinner, talk over dinner.
Well, our dinner is usually around 5 in the evening.
Market closed.
It's a market closed. Market need the market.
Around 8, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, then hell, I have enough time to go to the black market, to run out to the black market and try and find a flame tongue.
Yes, well, I can tell him that you might be a little bit late, as I know you have to travel from wherever you are in the city back here, but...
Yeah, the black market.
Maybe I can... He says I wouldn't admit that to too many people, but I can tell Father that you are busy with something within the city, and you should be in around 5:30. All right. So you guys are anything else today? Or are you just passing time till
Eamon,
tomorrow?
did you want to have that conversation about what we could do to improve ambience for banging?
Oh my god, dude! If we're going to Xerxes right now, I just grab Glenn by
Okay,
the collar.
we can talk later.
I just grab him by the collar and just drive. We're going to Xerxes now.
The ambience for what?
For
It's
banging.
okay.
Oh,
Better
Bane. I thought you said for Bane.
As he's
Like,
being
who's
no.
Bane? Need to improve his ambiance. All right. He would say, he just kind of is like, I think my city looks nice. All right. So you
It
head.
could look nicer.
Could look nicer. You head over to the tower. It's getting later in the day. It's mostly abandoned on the cliffs now. There's a couple of people in the park, but they are just going about their business. You head over to the tower. Luckily, the tower does not wipe your memory and send you away this time, which is always nice. Yeah.
Can I, as we're walking over, can I think a little, talk to Serta real quick?
Sure. So you.
Yeah. You're already there.
He says, it's you. What do you want?
It seems these blasted children of Shadow were able to cut off your connection.
What? Impossible.
I have burn marks that say otherwise, and you of all people should know what that means.
Strange. Are you still able to be affected by fire, or has that passed?
It's seeing as how I wasn't able to, as I'm able to speak with you, it seems I am. I've regained your ability, your gift.
As well. I mean, the ability to be immune to flame is not something that I have to continually grant you. I mean, I can take the ability away, but it's not something that is usually blockable. Are you sure it's something that the Children of Shadow did and not something else?
Well, there is a Tarask down here, so...
Oh, you need to release it. Alright, if you release that Tarask on the city, I will give you everything that you want.
Wait, seriously?
Just do it. Do it.
Wait.
Says,
I thought you didn't care much about the this plane.
He says, no, but a Tarask attack? I mean, I haven't seen one of those in many cycles. That would be amazing. I would watch. I would watch. Those things are amazing. I mean, I wouldn't fight it if I was you, but just you can watch it kill everything. It's amazing.
What? What do you mean? You know, of course I want to fight the Tarask.
Ugh, don't fight the Tarask. It'll probably kill you.
Even if you give me everything?
Well, I don't want you to kill the Tarask. I'm not going to give you everything to go fight it. It's supposed to mess stuff up and then go rage off into the wastelands or whatever they have over there. That's stupid.
But our glorious encounter, our glorious combat would still
and
city.
He says, listen, I don't think you could defeat a Tarask. I'm not saying that to be mean. They're just very, very dangerous. Like, they are a god punishment on mortals. But if you release one, that would be awesome. I mean, just watch it work. It's beautiful. I haven't seen a Tarask destroying stuff in way too long. Brings tears to my eyes just to remember. Hell, I'll send in some fire giants just because I want to see that wreck. I don't even care if my fire giants die. I want to see fire giants killing elves, and Tarask killing elves, and Tarask killing giants, and maybe Tarask killing you. Although I'd rather not that happen, but it would still be awesome to see. Anyway, sorry, you're giving me a bit of nostalgia here, thinking of the past and Tarask fighting.
There's no way.
Getting aroused a little bit.
He's absolutely aroused.
Getting a little, yeah. Anyway, you should release the Tarask. I'd be very happy about that. You gain at least 5 points of renown, easy. He doesn't say.
I don't even know. Yeah. I mean, if it was sealed, is there a way to tame this thing?
No, You don't tame a Tarrasque. A Tarrasque is pure carnage and death. Why do
But
you
wouldn't
people
we
always
be-
try to tame everything? Just let it
Well,
go nuts. Let
yeah,
it
but don't you want
destroy
it to?
things.
Don't you want it to go nuts in somewhere you want it to go nuts?
I mean, he says it's... The Tarrasque is not a beast that can be tamed or directed. It is a force of nature. It's like trying to tame a tornado or an earthquake.
But I'm pretty sure you could can summon an earthquake or tornado.
He says, well, I personally cannot, but there are beings that can. Usually, once they are summoned, the forces of nature act on their own accord. Some smaller versions can be controlled, but the real thing, well, they're just pure destruction.
It seems this Tarrasque was cast down in a huge ball of fire as punishment by a demon lord.
I wonder if it's someone I know.
Yeah, is there any chance you know who sent that down here?
I mean, he says I have suspicions, but no, I don't know for sure.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
He says, well, there's several of the greater demon lords could have used a large portion of power to summon something like that from another world. He says, but again, I don't know exactly who it might be. He says, why does that even matter?
I'm just curious, in relationship between interdimensional.
Are you looking for another patron?
No. I just find the politics of deities fascinating.
He says, well, demon lords, but it's a little different. I cannot command you, but if you were to release the Tarrasque, I would take such an action with give you high favor with me. Says if you kill it, that would be very impressive. I wouldn't even be mad. I would just be impressed. Be a little disappointed, though. I mean, I'd rather watch it tear that city apart.
Noted.
He says, as for why you lost your fire powers, I have no idea. I should still be granting those to you. And I feel no interruption in my magics.
Yeah, they have something cooking on down there, but alright, very noted and appreciated.
Alright, does anyone else want the camera for anything? I feel like I've been giving it to Glenn and Malin a lot this game. Alright, so you head to Xerxes. That was a little flashback as you were walking over there. You are able to enter the tower, going up to where Xerxes is up within the upper levels. He greets you as you come up the elevator. Says, welcome back, everyone. How goes your search for the cultists? Any news?
There's a Tarrasque down there. Just blurt that out.
He pauses for a moment, and he says, a Tarrasque.
Do we still have the book that we found it in?
I show him the book.
That, and he will stop for a moment and walk over to a book on one of his own shelves and grab it off. Start reading. He says, yes, death from the sky. The flames from above, and the claws and the terror of the Ripper, the Tarrasque. He says, there is one under the city. So that's why they're here. But why?
Hoping you might be able to help us speculate.
Yeah, do you think there's any reason a Tarrasque would help them with their soul crystal ritual?
Yeah, please do share your thought process out loud, because we're not quite following you.
Who are you talking to?
Xerxes, when he was like, that's why they're here, and like kind of like talking like.
Oh, yeah, he was kind of talking to himself. He's thinking, and he says, no, the absorbing soul energy would just require the release of miasma. The dark wave over the city would corrupt, stealing life force and turning humanoid into undead. The Tarask itself would actually be detrimental to that process, because killing the creatures would mean their life force is just released.
That's what I was thinking too.
Hmm.
Any way they can make a Tarask, like, breathe miasma? Do they have a breath weapon like a dragon?
He says, well, anything is possible. But a Tarask is not a beast that can be controlled. I mean, if they were to release it, it would kill them as well as everyone else. At least, I assume. What else do you know? I guess, what did you find, exactly?
I mean, I show them the book, and you tell them basically that, you know, we stumbled upon one of their hideouts, but one of the Zalora tipped them off.
Well,
And we also couldn't access our
he says, I had forgotten about the story of the well, many call it an Armageddon in and of itself. The Tarask slew many before they were able to trap it. They couldn't even kill it. They just put it into a bit of a sort of like a suspended animation and just tried to bury it because they couldn't do anything else. He says, even if you can kill the Tarask, it doesn't stay dead. He says,
What do you mean?
Well, once you get powerful enough, there is a magic known as a wish that can be used almost like a way to alter reality. Without such magic, the Tarask cannot die. That's why they had to put it into stasis.
You would need to wish it to get it to kill it?
Yes, for it to stay dead. He says, if not, then it would come back. I don't know exactly how long it takes, but it does not remain dead.
Can you use wish?
He says, I might be able to. I have to see if I have the ingredients I'd need. Wish is a powerful and very taxing magic to use. Sometimes even dangerous. But yes, if it comes to that, I might be able to help the city. Still, many would die just trying to put it back, or trying to put it down. He says, Tarask is enormous. You must stop them from releasing it if that is their goal. Though, again, it doesn't make sense. I don't think that is their goal, because that would hinder what they're trying to do if soul stones are their goal.
I see.
Alright. We can probably stop here. So we're a little bit over. But why don't we do MVP votes?
It's kind of like nudge Glenn, say, you know what? Instead of that Elder Dragon, we get Gavrix to come in here and go fight the Tarask with us. You know, we'll say it's him and Zana's honeymoon. They just help us go fight a Tarask.
He'd probably just make things worse and then skedaddle like he did on the tower.
Yeah, but Zana's watching.
Oh, he didn't make things worse. He absorbed a bunch of shots for you guys.
You
guys keep complaining. He took like over 150 damage for you.
He did. This is true.
But I just...
He like flew in and was taking all the anti-air fire. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. There's fireballs or magic missiles, and yeah, he was getting shot at. He finally had to fall back. Alright, I got 3 votes. Alright, Malin with 3 votes. You are MVP.
Thank you.
Get a inspiration point.
This is what I get for blowing myself up on traps. Just go kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Oh, it's fire. Something. It's just burned myself.
Yeah.
That last one, I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, I would usually try Dex, but knowing me, I absolutely think I could take it.
Any claims of funny or good actions for extra MVP points? extra inspiration points. Trying to think. I always feel fried at the end of the games. It's hard for me to remember what happened. All right. Well, then we'll just have Malin with the 1 point this game.
All right.
Good job.
And I'm sorry. Remind me on what the MVP does. It's just +2.
Inspiration points. Yes, you can use them before you roll to gain a +2 bonus.
And what's the max you can get again?
Same as story points. You can have 10 of them.
Okay.
But you can spend those whenever you want.
Okay.
Oh yeah, good game, everyone. Hopefully everyone had fun.
Yep.
Yep.
Tarask, I'm absolutely so hyped. This is so big.
I don't think we're gonna
I want to fight
fight the
Tarask.
Tarask.
Please.
At least not if we can help it.
Ooh, Dynasty Warriors Origins just came out on Steam.
Can you fight the Tarask?
No, but you do get to genocide Chinese people.
You can, yeah, and Lubu and his stupid bunny ears.
I always love a lot of the Dynasty Warriors. Just like, do not pursue Lubu. Like, I pursue Lubu.
Yeah.
I pursued Lubu 10 out of 10.
I mean, I feel like it's just the same game for the last 2 decades.
This one's supposed to be different. Origins, it's got like a 91%. It's like overwhelmingly positive, 91% on Steam reviews so far. Because I guess there was some early access copies out. I guess this one, they said, is not like you're not playing